Welcome to Legends on Paper. I'm Ravek Hunter, and this is our group. We have Matt and Camille, Postal Mike, Gustavo. Just had to throw that out. Spencer and Uncle Mike. And tonight we are on episode 5, I believe, of The Greatest Adventure, Greyhawk 5e. The party last session, having been saddled, we could say, with a group of orcs by Zendrelda after they had after the party had managed to get the creature in the box that they were to transport to Lord Hinway in Greyhawk, settled with a bunch of orcs to escort them basically out of the gnarly wood to wherever they were going. They were given a number of options. The orcs were not too thrilled about it, but Zendrelda had a relationship with the shaman and lonely sorceress out in the forest type thing, and he finally agreed that he would shepherd this group and their baggage to wherever they could safely go within the gnarly wood in the direction they chose. They could have gone north, back the way they came. They could have gone toward the east, which would have been the most direct route to Greyhawk, but was the longest through the gnarly forest and could have posed additional dangers. And so the shortest route to civilization was to the high road, which was just a couple days away, and so that's the option that they took. So Grugel, the shaman of the orcs, good to his word, shepherded the group west toward the high road. First day was fine, everything went reasonably well. That second night, having the crate with the skeletal hound apparently sleeping or just not active at all within this crate that they were carrying on the draft horse and leading another draft horse, unbeknownst to the characters, their wagon ended up as the second night's firewood. So there's no wagon. But they didn't need it. They had to be carried through by the orcs anyway, and they were, after seeing the horse carry the box, they decided they didn't really need it anyway. So they went on. But the next day, as they were actually traveling through the night, they were ambushed by the elves of the gnarly that had been presumably alerted to the orcs' presence by Jaru, whom Twig had met a few nights before on the way to Zendrelda's tower. It was a fierce fight, and for the most part, the party stayed out of it. But in the end, the orcs fell, and the party kind of chose sides, some of them anyway, as the orcs were never fully trusted necessarily by all of them to begin with, and they had their own reasons. So in any case, the orcs fell, including Grugel, never again to return to his sorceress lover in the tower. And that's where we ended the session, with moral dilemma as to whether or not the orcs should have been killed, since they had not done any harm or threatened in any way the party, and they were taking them safely through the forest when they were attacked. But orcs don't have the greatest reputation for keeping their word, and quite frankly, there were members in the party that might not have sat well in the beginning, that there were orcs around, and there was certainly some uneasiness, as orcs are mostly considered to be evil and mostly act that way in Greyhawk, for the most part. So in any case, the wood elves, who turned out to be swan made, having the ability to change from swans into elves, into swans, and back and forth. They could fly, that was their flight form, as well, led by a druid, had finished off the orcs, coming to their rescue. Some of the elves had gone down during the battle a few times. The party members did manage to make sure all the elves survived. And as we begin tonight's session, the group is kind of being herded together by the druid and the elves, the war party of elves, demanding to know why they were amongst a group of these awful, evil creatures in gnarly wood. And that's where we pick up this evening. But first, say it, Gus. Let's play D&D! Oh, D&D! Good job. So, here you are, surrounded by these elves in the middle of the gnarly forest, demanding to know what you were doing amongst these orcs. What's
Sleeping
going on?
at night unbothered, being fed, being led safely through the woods.
We were basically
How about you?
hostages. Basically hostages. The entire time. We weren't given a choice.
You're being questioned, by the way, by the druid, the female druid, who's looking at you very sternly. Looking at all of you, but continuing to glance over at Olson, but just wanting to hear what you have to say. The orcs are not our friends. Here in the gnarly, we protect the good beast of the forest from them. And the human cities as well, that they typically attempt to flank in their patrols and come upon unawares in the nights, the settlements and so forth at the edge of the forest, and of course ourselves. But mostly, they're evil creatures that should not be living on our earth. They should be destroyed, obliterated from the planet, no matter what the cost.
Because they attack people with no warning?
No, good sir, we did.
You did.
For good cause.
What cause? No beasts of the forest were harmed?
Do you know how many elves have died to the likes of gnolls and orcs and
I can
kobolds?
count how many orcs have died tonight.
Yeah, well, yes, sir, I can absolutely promise you many, many more have died, and many, many more will that enter this forest. She looks over at Olson. She begins speaking to you in Elvish.
Okay.
Does anybody else speak? Okay. So, two of you can understand?
Yeah.
Nobody on? Okay. Who are these people and why are you with them? Why were you amongst these orcs? What's the truth of it?
Well, it's a bit of a precarious situation that we ended up finding ourselves in. These people are what seem to be the starting framework of friends.
Who?
A few, I'm not so sure. The group that I travel with currently.
I see.
However, in terms of the orcs that we were with, we ended up traveling with them due to almost a domino effect of circumstances, one of which the story is quite long.
Where were you coming from?
We were coming from Drizelda's tower.
Zindrelda.
Zindrelda's tower.
She put you in league with these orcs.
We were delivering a package from someone to her in Dyvers, and it ended up being that we got crisscrossed in a bit of a scheduling conflict with her and the orcs. And it's all been quite a tense situation.
It's disappointing that one of your nature would even consider harboring with these creatures. You know what they are.
Of course.
You know the evil that they do.
There wasn't much room for consideration, as my tabaxi friend spoke up in the middle earlier. It was kind of like a hostage situation. It was seeming like if we said no, it seemed like a fight was going to break out in the beginning. They didn't seem too thrilled to guide us from the start, so to deny their help almost seemed dangerous.
And where are you heading to now?
We're heading to Greyhawk.
Great.
We're heading to Greyhawk.
But more relevantly, the high road.
Yes.
The high road, yes. That would take you quickly to Dyvers, where you could take road or ship to Greyhawk. Roll a performance.
There's a 12.
And I'll give you advantage since you're an elf.
6.
6, so 12 is your high?
Yes.
Okay.
18.
So she seems a little bit dubious, but when she's speaking to her, appears to be the captain of the warriors, captain of the guard that had come with them, leading the warriors as a swan may in the attack. She just simply looks over at him, shakes her head. We'll have to deal with Zindrelda. You may pass. You're going to the high road. It's only an hour west of here. We won't delay you any longer. But should you be found in the company of these vile creatures again, or any sort like them, even as a creature of our species, you will not be protected. Certainly none of these.
Of course. That's understood. May I ask, how far does the Black Hand tribe stretch? Is it solely to this?
They're from the Pomage, actually, and they send their patrols, and sometimes much more than patrols, up through the gnarly forest to flank the human settlements and come upon them unaware. It's something that we've been dealing with for a long time, but when they come in mass, we don't quite have the numbers. All we can do is beat at their fringes and warn the populace that they're coming. They're always looking for new routes, new safer routes for their kind to pass. It's been happening more and more lately. Strange times are coming. Any case, we will inform the Arc Druid of the gnarly rangers and druids, Hildifer Powerverse, of what has occurred here. Your names will be noted in our books and our records. You may come in peace to the grove if you wish, but I shouldn't have to repeat that traveling with these creatures should never be an option. Not here.
Can we all hear this conversation?
If you speak Elvish, I mean, you can all hear the words because you're all close. But if you speak Elvish, yeah.
The whole time they've been talking, he's just been kind of staring over at Grugul's corpse. He loved her.
Insidious. Insidious love. That cannot be love.
Well, you call them monsters, but
She's mad, you know. She's completely insane. She's building a lighthouse in the middle of the forest.
what kind of monsters love?
I don't know that any do. He wanted something from her. Did you find the Calamathus?
Wanted something from her. He got what he came
Yes,
for from
that's
her,
what he
and then
wants.
he was able to guide us anyway at her request.
I'm not sure that you would have actually made it to the end of your journey with them.
He shakes his head and keeps looking at Grugul's corpse. And then kind of side-eyes you, Borax.
We are done here.
We thank you for your generosity. We'll be away shortly.
The swan, they're not swans. You know, they're dressed in the feathers and symbols of swans and unicorn horns as they gather around the druid, and as they come close, suddenly they disappear into oblivion, and you're left alone in the forest. You have your draft horse, which still has the crate on top, and the other one has disappeared into the forest a long time ago. You can decide if you want to try and track it down, but it's nighttime, about late into the night, early morning, and the woodland creatures, you can hear the sounds of them all around you begin to come out again.
Like the only light that we have at the moment is currently my lantern, so like the only thing we can really see is well, the only thing us three can see is like just around the corpse and everything around the horse and all that.
Going to touch my chest plate and cast light cantrip on me.
Okay.
Love it.
I feel like a
I think we should continue
Spotlight.
for the night.
That would have been good to know.
Hey.
Okay. I tried my best. I had 2
On the
characters.
stones page. They didn't kill you, so there's that.
You didn't take a point of damage.
And then I'm gonna say in Primordial, you have no reason to feel any guilt. You did nothing wrong.
Booba Shapadadadi.
You don't understand Primordial?
No.
I just say it.
Yeah.
And then I keep walking.
I just look very confused.
I just assumed. I assumed. Really? Did I see that?
They don't get it for free.
No.
I got common and elvish. Because I look like an elf.
Tap you on the back and say, in Primordial, good try, buddy.
Where did you learn?
I know. Where does anybody learn this stuff?
Straight up ocean and Charlotte and shit.
Gambling with elementals at some point.
Yes, I suppose. I don't
Or
know.
like
All right, we head west, leading
All
the
right.
in the
horse.
sea.
So, are you
Yeah.
okay? So, as you make your way through the forest, go ahead and put yourself in a marching order.
Can't you took all
Oh no, they're over there.
I'll be
I'm
about
still with the horse.
feet ahead of everybody.
I'll be second from the front.
There's still trees.
Yeah, I mean you're thick in the forest still.
I'm in the
You've been
trees.
told that you're about an hour west of,
So we were good.
or an hour east of the high road.
Do you have a thing for the trees?
Oh, do you need a thing for the tree?
I'm in the trees.
I have the big. Yeah.
So you're going to be traveling up 30 feet up in the trees again. Okay.
Not that far ahead of
Okay.
everybody, but yeah, sure.
I will be.
And you're our guide, our scout, our ranger.
So you've got the big
I'm the beacon.
blinding light. It's
We're still in.
Actually, my lantern gives more light, but but yes.
Yeah. Well, traveling through the next hour or so, through the gnarly forest is uneventful. Eventually, you come to this broad road that travels north and south, basically. You can see that just at the place that you meet the road, just up to the north, maybe 100 yards or so, you can see the Cernal River. It's not a wide river. It's just fairly narrow. It's just as far as like a tributary that runs under a small bridge, just a little bit further north. And as the light is coming up, the trees, although still somewhat thick around you, has a lot. It's a lot more open, especially where the road. It looks like it's been cleared out and it's relatively well maintained for travelers from the south and up to Caltaran in the north, which is part of the free lands of Dyvers. In any case, you don't see anybody on the road at this hour. Again, it's probably right at about dawn. The sun's coming up. What do you want to do? Do you want to travel along the road? Do you want to? What do you want to do?
I think we would travel on the road.
Yeah.
Make all of our lives easier.
Yeah, I mean it's. Fortunately, you have a ranger, but it's certainly going to be easier for the horse and the heavy load that he's carrying or she. Okay.
Establish the horse's gender.
Or
I will check.
That female.
Yes.
okay. All right. So just traveling up the road. You're going to keep your light source out even as it gets light outside. There are some rather thick. You can see in the distance that the road runs. It's kind of a curvy road where it runs through some rather thick wooded area, almost as thick as what you've been in, from Zendralda's Tower. But it's clear. The road itself, so it's not overgrown or anything like that. You twig you'd be constantly climbing up and down at this point if you wanted to try and stay up in the trees, which is going to eat up a lot of your movement going up and down if you want.
She's just gonna chill out on the road with everybody else
Okay.
at this point.
All right. Okay. All right. So moving at a steady pace. By the end of the day, unless there's anything you want to do during the day, you guys have been in the battle. You've been up all night. You didn't participate combat-wise physically as much to give you exhaustion, so I won't give you that at this point. Is there anything you want to do during the day as you travel? Staying in your same marching order, going up? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so along the way, you do it just quietly walking, maybe contemplating the night before. You do come upon a slow-moving group of 6 individuals that are walking and riding on a cart. And it looks like they're farmers. And they have a number of crates and a few barrels that they're transporting in the same direction you are, but you're moving a little bit faster than them. As you come up on them, they're just watching you very carefully. The men just nod, the women just kind of, who are in the wagon also, are just kind of like clustered together a little bit tighter and fearfully. But they don't acknowledge you more than just to say hello.
We're out of dense trees right now.
You're out of the street, yeah, you're on the road, you have basically trees all around you, but not like in the middle of the forest.
I hand them pamphlets.
And that stirs some discussion as you pass.
Go with peace, brothers.
Are there containers on their carts open? Can we see what they have?
You can roll a perception if you want.
That is
I gotta buy more high quality.
21.
Oh, that's pretty good. All of them seem to be closed, but there's enough debris around them that it looks like they're moving some sort of vegetable type product. Beans, maybe leafy lettuce, maybe a combination of several different types. It's spring right now in this part of Greyhawk, so there's a lot of transportation of agricultural goods on the highways right now. You continue
as we pass by. As they say the follows.
As we're going past, I say a few words to the farmer, just, hey, how you doing? We had a quick question for you. I know, you look a little startled. Nothing to be worried about. We ran into a bit of a mishap back in the forest, lost our cart. Do you know if we're heading up to a town nearby so that we get another one?
Well, sure. You're heading up to Calderon. You're looking to buy a cart or whatever?
Yeah.
They'll have it.
No, about
Sure.
that. Do you know about the distance of that? Just
maybe.
The horse is tired, that's all.
He looks up. You can see that the day is starting to fall. Tomorrow noon, you should be there, I'm sure. At your pace, we might be a bit behind you.
Thank you.
Just nods.
Speaking of which, is our plan to go back to the free city of Dyvers? I thought we were going to the house, the manor.
It's on the way. If we take the road.
We have to take the road from Dyvers east to the
Should we go from
Yeah, I can.
thing.
There's a couple of different ways to get to Greyhawk. Greyhawk's way over here on the right.
Yeah.
You can see Dyvers. You could continue taking the high road to I think that's called the low road right there. Maybe it's the high road continued.
So I see
Toward Dyvers.
Looks
And you
like
can take-
Catalan's over on the left.
Yes.
By the D.
Calderon is the
Calderon.
first place, the first,
port?
the first village, town, city, settlement. None of you are really familiar with it, so you don't know exactly what it is. And then, of course, Dyvers, where you came from, and then you can either take a ship, if you can, which is going to be somewhat of a voyage, all the way around the peninsula and then back down to Greyhawk, or you can take the western road.
So we're not going to Loxwell Manor because I noticed that's in the southeast.
Yeah, Luxwell Manor is way down here. Yeah, that was one way to go from Zendrelda's tower, but you chose another.
Remind me the marching order of our mission. To hang from that guy,
the
bring it to
dog
Zelda, and then bring
to
the dog to the
Henway.
menagerie, and then just backstep it.
Yeah, I thought we were taking the road to Greyhawk that went through Loxwell Manor, and then we went that way.
You guys decided to go to the high road.
Okay.
Going to, but then we realized that we would have to take horses through forests
Gotcha.
for weeks.
Oh, that's right.
So then, the idea is to hit the manor after Greyhawk.
If we want to hit
We don't
We
have
don't need to go to the
manor.
manor,
have to?
and there were creepy people there. Potentially, the orcs were assessed of the people at Loxwell
Just
Manor.
looking for milestones.
for leveling reasons.
Man is trying to document this road trip.
I mean, yeah, you probably don't know much or anything about Loxwell Manor. I mean, it's fairly remote. But whether it has any significance to anything, you don't know.
All right.
It was just one way to go. I think Zendrelda had told you that it was governed by a lord who basically protected that area of the gnarly forest.
And his crazy wife, according to the orc.
All right, well, we're not going there anyway, since I'm going. I thought we were.
So, in any case, so passing the group of farm folk and continuing on, you can either continue on through the night to get to Caltran, or you can find a place to camp for the evening in the next few hours, if you like.
I like camp.
I need a snooze. Little cat nap for me.
Okay. All right. Are you looking for a specific area, or just going to pull over on the side?
We're trying
Something-
to find us a nice spot.
Something with a nice
Try to find us
spot.
a nice
Okay. Roll survival.
spot. We're still in forest technically, or
Yeah, you are, because the forest is all around you, but it's not as dense as it was deep in the gnarly forest.
It's like a road in
17.
Pennsylvania.
17? Okay. So, yeah, so within an hour or two, you find kind of
I have only you can prevent one.
side area to pull off into, and you've seen a few of these along the way where people camp. So it's not unusual to see that, as there's lots of people that travel this road and camp, and a few of them are passing you, as you go on. But again, mostly looking like tradesmen, agricultural, and merchants and so forth. I'm going to stay with the same watch order for the night.
I can do the half the night. I just need someone to take the first two.
I'll take one.
Okay. All right. So without belaboring that too much, the evening passes uneventfully, and the next morning you can head off once again.
Yay. Off we go.
All right. So approaching the city, we'll call it, of Caltran, you can see right away that it is enclosed by a fairly massive stockade. And it looks more like a fort than it does a township or a village or a city. It's not nearly the size of Dyvers. It probably has maybe 1,000 inhabitants, between in and out and around. You're passing a couple of settlements on the way as you go, and it's right on that southwestern corner of the Nire Dive that turns into the Velverdiva River. And you can see that there is across the river another similar type settlement or force structure on the other side of it, about 3.5 miles away. That's about how wide the river is. And you see there's a ferry that goes back and forth, and that would take you into Furiundi. But the road continues on to Dyvers from here along the south coast of this little point in the Nire Dive. You can enter the city if you like, or you can pass it by. You can see that it is very well fortified. You can see the caps of soldiers that are along the tops of the parapets. You can see that there's a number of them, mounted and unmounted, patrolling the areas around, keeping a watchful eye. Lots and lots of merchants that are passing through and from, going in different directions. At this point, it seems like a little bit of hub on this side of the Velverdiva River.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
We're stopping, right?
It's about midday.
This horse looks like it's about to pass out.
This horse just slept all night like you did.
Yeah, but that's, just because we are character levels,
So, at midday, about how far would we reckon that we could travel if we kept going?
Well, I mean, you really don't know. I mean, you know that following this road is going to get you to Dyvers. You just don't know exactly how far it is. Because you guys are not from here. None of you are from here.
Does Twig know what Calamanthus is and does?
I don't think any of you. None of you knew.
Want to try it?
Because remember, you guys rolled histories on it and everything earlier, a session or two ago. I thought you
I
did.
don't think we've ever even asked.
May we?
What is Calamanthus?
I
Delphus
choose
phrase.
not to because I know
And,
absolutely jack
and didn't
shit.
you have a discussion with Jaru? I mean, not Jaru, but
Do I
Jabal
get advantage?
about it? Pretty sure you did.
Who?
With Jabal. Because he was rather pissed that he had to, spend money to retrieve it.
He mentioned that he had to spend money to replace it, but he never mentioned what it did.
Never really asked about it.
Not bad
Try some.
information gathering.
I would try some.
No, I do recall a discussion where it was brought to your attention that it was a psychotropic.
Okay.
And it could be used in many different ways. Yeah, so.
Oh no, it's my Calamanthus.
But who's carrying it? Oh, Twig has it
I
right now.
have it.
She got it off the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my hand. I'm just trying to figure out if she knows what it is or if she's looking for someone to try it out.
So,
We're walking one day.
Can we make those history checks? Or?
you pretty much have as much information as you're going to get on it at this
Gotcha.
point. So I think, I think that's where we'll leave it unless you delve into it further.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Is it strictly an illegal thing, potentially, Greyhawk?
Well,
It's something you would get in an apothecary?
you would know
or
generally
some-
being from Greyhawk that almost all the goodly kingdoms in the south, especially in free cities, don't allow it. They've outlawed it because
Up there.
it could have some very
Crime rates.
very bad
No, I'll trust you.
That's fine.
Is it like on a scale from like weed to shrooms to like LSD? Where does it fall in the spectrum?
yeah, somewhere in between
We'll
there.
find out someday.
Yeah,
Oh, somewhere.
shit.
I'm sure it's somewhere on there.
but it could be eaten, it can be chewed, it could be smoked, there's a lot of different uses for it.
Snort it.
Sprinkled by maids.
You see it is kind of a leafy type, herbal type look to it, from what you've seen. So, but it's much stronger than marijuana.
This party just wants to get high.
So yeah, I mean, you guys could just roll it out one night. It's up to you.
Oh my
But,
god, my mother was right.
Yeah, it's high school.
Okay, so are we going into Caltaran or not?
I'm in favor of just stopping long enough to get a cart for the horse.
You know,
Just
my
'cause-
choice is always to go around.
The horse has been carrying.
How are we
very
going to
good.
afford a cart?
Are we not all broke now?
We have gold.
We have some gold. A cart's not super expensive.
Buy a lot of carts, do you?
I've bought a few carts.
All right. You're in cart duty then. We'll wait out here.
Sure, whatever.
All right.
Here. I'm heading into it. Do you need some paper? Do you need something?
I do need paper.
And a new
I'll follow you.
and a new
Yeah.
crayon. That was
plenty
good
of wax.
stuff. Okay.
Is the traveling decision though to go around or to go through?
We might as well go through if we are all stopping for something. I'm going to go in for tea.
I'm hungry.
This is a terrible idea. The last town you guys went to together, you killed people and went to jail.
Are you staying out here, Olsen?
No, I mean if the whole group's going in, I'll follow.
We're going in. We're going in.
What are we going to do about the Calamanthus?
That's on the Tabaxi. She's got it.
I mean, we are bringing drugs into
Wait,
the
what are
city.
we gonna do? You don't need to worry about it. I'm carrying
It
it.
really is catnip. Holy shit.
I don't know why we are all talking about it as if it belongs to we.
So ahead you can see that there's a bridge. There's a bridge on the road that leads to the city. And there you can see that there's a mounted force of what look like Dyvers, Free Army soldiers. And then there's a few that are standing around the bridge. There's kind of a line going from north to south and south to north over this bridge, and it's kind of going in a steady procession. Looks like there's a cluster on the north side of the bridge of people as they're slowly moving across. Appears to be the only way to get over the river. It bends around, and so you passed over the river the day before, and then it looks like it bends around because you're passing it over again. So, do you want to get in that line to head into the city?
Is it looking like a Disney line, or?
Well, I mean, there's there's probably 8 or 10
I think it's looking like a check-in line.
Like a pat down situation?
carts, with people, and as you get closer, you can see that it looks like they're collecting a toll.
How far are they going with inspections on people going in? Are we getting patted down?
Do you want to roll a perception, or you just want to do a passive?
I would like to check to see if they're inspecting.
11.
5.
Yes. That's I believe it is a dirty 20. Let me double check. It's either dirty 20 or 21.
Natural one.
He's got it.
You know better than me, my friend.
Guys are asking for 45 gold pieces apiece.
Oh, man, I'm 5 short.
That gold is actually copper.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, so collectively, and through pointing out the obvious, it looks like they're trying to move the people along as quickly as possible. And so there's several soldiers, and so one might look in the cart and then just move on, and then just wave them on after collecting some bit of coin.
We have it on like the tabaxi.
Yeah.
You're gonna get profiled.
Twig's just gonna pull her shirt down a little.
Jeez.
I love it.
All right. So as you get
That's weird.
Pull her hair around one corner.
That's weird.
6 nipples.
ample space to hide stuff. As you get up to the soldiers, they look at your group.
I step forward. I do my best to look very harried and like, man, we lost our cart. We just need to go and get something from town, man.
I don't need the story. Don't worry. You have one horse, yes? And a box on the horse. What's in the box?
An animal for the menagerie in Dyvers.
Oh, all right. I said, what kind of animal?
Dog.
A dog. I've been to that menagerie. I know it had to be something special to go to the menagerie for Lord Hinway. Tell me, what is it? Really? Come on, tell me.
It's a dead dog.
A dead dog? What are you doing with a fucking dead dog?
It's not our idea.
Taxidermy.
Are you feeding it to something or what?
They're adding a museum
For dead things.
for taxidermy.
Whatever. One horse, a box with a dead fucking dog. Captain,
Froggy's in the barrel.
5 copper if you mind. Just 5 copper.
5 copper.
Okay. And he just waves you through. Ah, the backseat.
Flip her hair the other side and give him a wink. And
Don't see too much of your kind around here.
I literally
Well
have
met.
5
Go
copper
on.
just sitting loose in my pocket.
Why do I feel like the tabaxi are gonna be treated like the centaurs in Plethora?
They're just getting, I mean, your whole group, a lot of eyes are following you because you're a very odd, eclectic group going on here. But the soldiers don't seem to be suspicious or worried or concerned, just more move along.
Yeah.
nothing to see here, gentlemen.
Now the road takes you to the gates of the palisade, and there you see another group of soldiers. They don't stop anybody, but they're just paying attention. Inside, you can see rows and rows and rows of what look like barracks, and then you can see what looks like a hostel and maybe an inn. Tents are all gathered outside the palisades. It looks like a lot of people are staying outside this small settlement. And then you can see even further down the main road, what looks like the ferry and the barges that are going up and down and back and forth, and some carrying huge loads of logs up from the gnarly and to whatever their destination on the Nire Dive they're going. But they don't stop you. They just kind of watch you as you go in, and immediately what you find is you're almost like in a frontier town. There's a lot of trade moving through, but not stopping, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of retail shops other than necessity, like leather workers and Wainwrights and Smiths and so forth. There's a general store. There's this one small inn that looks to be crowded, has a tavern. There's a couple of taverns actually, but most of them don't look like they have rooms attached to them. And then there's a hostel, or hostel, whatever you call it. And then just lots of, military type services and functions.
The hostel.
Yes, the hostel.
Can I go to Eurus and be like, did you want to say you want to find somewhere for tea? Stop and
I feel like I
sit
just
for a
need to
second.
have a little bit of tea. It has been a hard few days.
Everyone else want to stop and
Tea.
get a drink for a second?
I'll meet you there. Where are you going?
I look for the just eyeballing at the least crowded tavern.
Wherever he picks, I don't
They're all crowded. This is the middle of the day, and you can see that there's lots of merchants and tradesfolk that are traveling, that are stopping to have a drink or a meal or whatever on their way through.
It's lunchtime.
Pretty much.
Pick
That
one.
one. I like the pig on the outside.
It's a good pig.
I'm gonna dip into the general store. I'll meet you there.
I
you
will
in a
follow
bit.
you to the general store. I need more paper.
So as far as what you're going to find here in the stores, you're going to find all your common goods, and they're all going to be at normal pricing. So you can just buy what you need in reasonable quantities. If you need something in bulk, let me know. But
She's just looking for a hookah.
No, you're.
yeah, but you're not going to find any exotic goods here
But
unless you get really lucky.
Eurus's reference to tea made me think that maybe I would look for my own little canister of tea or something that this Calamanthus might fit in that doesn't look like a block of drugs.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna buy actual tea for him.
Hope that doesn't get
But she's
confused.
not making that known. She's not telling anyone, and she would make
Right.
sure that Philadelphus doesn't see.
All right, so you'd be able to find tea is not inexpensive. I mean, even the cheapest tea is not inexpensive, but it would come in like a box, and not in a canister, but it would come in like a box, and you could find one the size that you want. It's probably going to cost you, 6 silver,
No problem.
and it's not the best tea.
That's okay. We're throwing it away.
Kind of crappy, actually.
We're going to the bathroom and throwing it right in the crapper.
Okay.
I know you're giving it to you.
It's
Are you
just
looking for like a small, like mid-grade portion for Eurus?
of
Tea.
tea. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually gonna buy tea.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you can find a tea that's brewed, or not brewed, but is, what do you call it? How do you? What tea? Leafed by the priest of Aluna, which is said to be a pretty decent tea.
I'll get that.
As strict as they are, it's as strict on the palate,
How much?
just like they are.
Astringent.
7,000.
$7,000.
No, 10 silver. 10 silver. You can get it
That's
for 10.
alright,
Yep.
easy.
But it's a small canister.
Yeah.
It looks like you probably get 10 cups of tea out of it if you knew tea.
Would there be anything there that would be small enough to carry around, but that might be able to grind, say, leaves into like a powder?
Like a mortar and pestle.
You know,
I want to think more on
possibly
the
it
go.
could also be a container.
Roll a
That
d20.
catches the excess, so like.
You're in a frontier town trying to find a tea grinder.
Like a little, I don't know, like a
Leaf grinder,
coffee
whatever.
bean grinder or something.
You're
something
Sarabachi.
What am I rolling?
What'd you roll? The d20.
That's an 18.
Mocha head.
18, okay, yeah. So you find kind of a crude grinding device. Looks like it's used for coffee, but it could probably also be used for tea.
Gotcha. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get my box
some-
of tea,
Modification.
and I'm gonna get some kind of little, like, I don't know, whatever pouch or something you can carry powder in.
Okay, yeah, so all that's probably going to be somewhere around, say, 3 or 4 silver, and so it's not terribly expensive.
10 silver it is.
And how much paper can I get for 2 pieces of gold?
2 pieces of gold?
Like good quality paper, if they have.
Well,
You're gonna need that at once.
Like vellum.
Yeah, you need
Just like a 15-pound paper rather than standard printer paper.
Card
they're
stuff.
probably only going to have
Craft paper.
like reed paper, just simple paper here. Nothing that you could, you'd want to write a magical spell on, anything like that.
No, something worthy of
That he
by
could
the
draw a
words of
pamphlet
his
on.
God.
Yeah. So just some bulk type paper. Remember, they don't have printing presses here, so it's all typically done by a group of people trying to write the same thing over and over and over. And over. But probably for 2 gold, a silver. Man, silver page even seems a little bit high. Say 2 pages per silver. So what's that? 40 pages?
40 pages. I'll take that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right, just some
40 pages,
just some workable paper.
I will use my craft
Stick a
skills
rag
to
up there and
make
then
it
stay
better.
away from the men for 8 days.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Had a thought.
Well,
And you know that it's overpriced, to get that here, because that's almost like I mean, who the fuck would want that here? Except for guys that have to write reports.
So, it's more like what would be used for legal stationery.
Writing reports, just the cheap stuff that, armies and guards are using to, write up reports and so forth, using for messengers and so forth,
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Anything else?
I mean,
In the
not in the general store, but
Okay.
I assume there's a place where there are a bunch of horses all set up.
yeah, there's Wayne's Right. There's places where and there's also like carpenters.
Yeah, straight up, I am looking for a cart because none of us are very strong. This horse is literally the only way we're moving this box, and this horse can drag a lot better than it can carry on its back.
Okay, so whatever
Dude, you're
the mean price is, the normal price is for a cart is what it's going to cost. You guys have the access to the
I'll look it up.
yeah.
Not cheap, but
No, it's just normal price, here. For that sort of thing. Because they're doing that all the time. They're constantly.
15 gold.
Is it that much? 15 gold for a cart?
Yeah. That's why I was like, buy a lot of
Wow.
to you.
Wow.
yeah, I know it costs money, but
Hey,
I
she
am-
stole
How
from me
do
and I still
peasants
don't
exist?
know. So.
I know. They have to get loans for a fucking cart.
You gotta fucking build your own.
Well,
apparently.
that's what it is. That's serfdom right there.
yeah.
You work for the boss for free, and he buys the cart for you to haul your goods, and then you give him all your profits.
For you have adventurers like yourselves that just toss gold to everybody.
I still have not
I have not stolen that much, and you don't know I
Listen,
did.
we break the economy.
I
Every
don't
city we go into.
Oh, you're not the only ones.
Those orcs deserve to die. They effectively robbed us of 15 gold.
They just decided to use the cart as firewood?
Yeah.
Oh,
They said
get tired of carrying it.
the box isn't on it, so
Except, I think we all would have noticed, but it didn't happen until tonight that Ravek's like, unbeknownst to the party,
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have gotten thrown into the fire, or it would have been used for fire, and that's at the point you would have noticed it. Dragging it out at that point, you would have had a ruined cart.
We can, if we knew that in advance, that would definitely be a retcon reason for
No.
people to be
You would
upset.
you would not have known that because they wouldn't have asked permission. They would have deduced that you don't need it because you got the box on a horse. We're tired of carrying it. We're making a fire. We don't have to collect wood.
technically that card is part reward for if
Yeah.
we got to keep it.
It was involved this card.
if you're gonna spend 15 on a cart, you might as well spend 35
yeah,
and
but
get a wagon
parking it and alternate
What's the difference between a
sides.
cart?
size.
So,
A cart's probably like maybe the size.
so the rest of you were in one of the taverns having tea,
Yeah.
ale, whatever. It's midday, crowded, probably getting frustrated that you're not getting service right away. It's taking forever. But what you do get is fairly standard fare. Nothing great, but costly.
While we're in there, I just want to kind of sit across from Eurus and just be like, "You okay?"
I don't understand what happened.
That's fair, and I think that there were calls made on my end that I kind of regret in this moment.
Why did you do it?
It's I don't know if I have a reason. You know, I haven't been around people in a long time. You know, this is the first group I've traveled with since I was probably a kid. And, you know, when you spend a lot of time out in the wild and just fending for yourself and doing this and keeping yourself safe, the matter of what's important is strength.
Can I ask you then, if it comes to a time where we are losing, are you going to shoot us?
I've been thinking about that, because that's exactly what, you know...
That is an alarming answer.
No, it's not. I don't mean it in that sense. I mean it in the sense of I'm trying to be more aware of what my actions might make people think. And I think we're a little more similar in that than I noticed in the beginning, because I think you're also trying to figure a few things out, social-wise, not in any disrespectful manner. I just think...
I'm on a journey of fulfillment. I was sent away by the place where I was trained to expand my horizons, learn more about the world, and not be so, what did he say, naive. I feel like I am less naive after that night, I'll be honest.
Sure. Well,
Still, though, I just...
To answer the main question, no. Just because one of you might show a moment of weakness, I'm certainly not going to turn on you and put an arrow in your head. I think it's nice being around people, and I don't think I ever really realized that when I was younger. As much as I enjoy being out in the world, and I don't like the city circumstances still, a group like this isn't bad. It's nice to have some company, but I'm sorry if my actions have made you a little skeptical on your outlook on certain things.
I think I am just... It is one of those things where I feel ignorant. I don't feel like I understand why they had to die, or why people think they're monsters when clearly Rugul had feelings for Vigindrella. I just...
That's fair, and unfortunately I don't think I can give you an answer to sway you from that thought, other than first impressions are big, and if people perceive you as something right off the bat, it's very hard to change how people see it in the future.
Like how people think we are murderers.
Sure, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a wonderful thought. But anyway, I just wanted to... felt like bringing it up. So.
Well, I thank you for the explanation. I hope that things become more clear.
I think they will. I think we just need time.
Yeah, I think Borax perhaps needs the most time of all.
Sure.
I will speak to him at some point. I think right now he just needs space.
That's fair.
Can I come into part of the conversation?
No! Yeah.
Cool. After having, I assume I got the cards all set up. Yeah.
1 minute!
People, fuck off, Figaro!
Something, bro!
Yeah, exactly.
He's a city sneaky. I'm a forest sneaky.
I am very city sneaky. You're in a tavern. You don't see me. I'm a person. I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me.
Go on.
Yeah, so have a seat. Hey, I see you guys are having a bit of a moment here, but also question.
We're just making out.
Yeah.
Staring deeply into each other's
I
eyes.
thought that's where it was going.
Yeah. I step in as I see your faces getting closer together, and I just jump cut in the middle of that. Hey, about those orcs.
Sure.
Yeah. Couldn't help it over here. You have some connection, with that Elvish group. Did you have a connection with them? Because they.
I don't have a connection with them personally. It's just, other than the druidic one, that was, I believe, a high elf, and the rest were wood elves, which is what I am. So, it's not necessarily that I know them or anything. It's just sort of natural kinship between us.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I don't know all humans, so I'm going to guess you don't know all elves.
No, I don't. And that's a fair assumption. And it's probably another reason why, in that fight, I wasn't really sure what to do. While on one side, one was quote-unquote allies, the others were directly my people, whether I knew them or not. So.
I am a strange-looking elf. That is what they have told me.
Your hair hasn't stopped moving.
Out of character, do you think you're an elf?
He has always been told he's a strange-looking elf.
Really? That's so interesting.
It's actually what they say about Genasi.
Can I make a history check to see if I know what an air genasi is? To see if I know his actual race?
You're from a long way away, in a very
Would I have
obscure
a chance
area.
of knowing what that is?
That's
just
so cool,
from
that's interesting.
the area that I'm in and the fact that I picked Primordial as a starting language?
That's weird that you picked Primordial.
It's literally an option.
So did I.
Hey, I picked it for like the reason of using fake mystical words. I figured he picked up a book of Primordial, and that's just the most mystical. No one else speaks it, so he can speak it.
Where's your character from?
From the Sea Prince from the Isles,
Oh, wow.
all the way out there.
Even further
Man, I
away.
took a fucking boat to get here because I did not want.
You can make a roll, but it's going to be a pretty high
Standing
DC.
outside
Yeah, that's fine.
with the
History.
Intelligence or history?
waiting while you guys
History.
are doing whatever you're doing.
Sure.
Okay, let's. Am I proficient in history? I am not. So it is only a 19.
Well, you think he's a sea elf.
Valid.
See,
Actually, you might not, because I mean, from the Isles, you would actually probably have come into contact with sea elf from time to time. You don't know what he is, but you think he's like some derivative or some related species to a sea elf.
Yeah, I'll go with
All I
that.
can say is that I age faster than the elves I have known, and I am blue.
Well, you're not a seal.
No, they tested that.
Sea elf negative.
Yeah.
Okay, half elf, half elf.
Oh my god.
Twig will come.
Flying
Twig
elf.
will come in and see them all there, and she'll come over to the table and say,
Scoot over. Make
"What's going on, Brain Trust?"
Yeah, but my main question. Yeah, I just had one main question I was leading up to. Is,
sure.
have you ever known a group of orcs to keep their word?
We still do not know.
Because I
I
figure.
can't answer that with enough confidence because it's not like I've ever been in a position where I've made a deal with one. It's not like an everyday happening that I'm like, oh yeah, I met this orc once and like he offered to do this and then he went back on his word. I don't know. I can't give a good enough answer like that on a good conscience.
And if you did have that story, I would imagine that like humans and elves, not all orcs are the same.
That's fair.
It's
That
not
might
like
be
this
true.
one fed him or. Oh, wait, you did.
Hey, you're not even there, so.
Protected him while he
Yeah.
was sleeping.
Borax walked in with a horse.
I was
just
gonna say,
saying.
the wind's blowing here, and it sounds like one of those.
It is crowded. It's like very noisy in this tavern.
Is this
Perhaps
still,
that is your conscience.
this is
And
still
also, because the whole thing
bothering
of going
you,
back on your
Eurus?
word is doesn't
sorry?
matter what you
So
do
this is
prior.
still
If you
bothering
eventually
you?
go back on your word.
It
you're
is
going back
a
on your word.
concern. I tried not to resort to violence unless absolutely necessary, and everything was dark, and our guides were being killed, and then I realized we were killing our own guides, and I didn't really get it, to be honest. I'm not trying to be difficult. I just it was complicated.
It's not that complicated. There are no monsters. There's you, and there's everybody else. That's all that you need to remember. At the end of the day, make sure it's you.
That is really macabre, no?
That's the world.
Gotten me this
From
far.
behind him, he feels a little tiny.
There is a line. Party members just waiting for the conversation.
Just squeezing through the crowd, you know, to get to the table.
We had like a 3-seater table before. We kicked out so many people.
Yeah, we just keep dragging chairs from the other tables
There with
around
us.
this tiny little coffee table.
Hey, Borax, get in here. You can just fuck the horse. Just come on. It's a good time.
Well, I mean, if any of them want to fight us, we know how this went last time. I feel pretty confident in our abilities.
I actually don't know how it went last time. I don't remember.
And I tap Eurus on the shoulder.
Hello. Hi.
And I present him with the tea.
Oh, what is this?
It is for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that was really nice.
Stop feeling bad.
A nice thing that happened.
Yeah, that was really
Funny, when
nice.
you held it like this, I thought you were going to give him like 9.
There's still a pouring charge for that, you
Not
know.
even one, just 9.
There's still a pouring charge for that, you know.
That is fine.
One of the
My
servers
friend
comes
gave me a
over.
gift. I will pay.
All right.
Unbrewed tea.
Do you want me to brew it for you?
Yes, please, one packet.
He's finally handing out all your drinks,
Yeah.
which you ordered. And they're all wrong.
Thank you. That was very
He takes a tea.
That's whatever.
I got the salad. You want
Okay.
salad?
Yeah, that's what that is. All right.
And I'll take that from. I'll take that in. You got the wrong drinks.
Sure.
I figured some decent tea would do you well.
Figaro was like,
It does.
who the hell ordered General Tao's tea?
I mean, it is like chicken fingers at a state.
It is a tea restaurant. You ordered the basic.
Can I order a Dyvers
tea.
sunset?
That's so funny.
A Tiber sunset.
Oh,
Well, whatever that is, I'll bring you.
You know what would make me feel really better though?
A trip to the head, and then she's gonna take off to the bathroom.
It was worth a shot. I am still happy.
And she's gonna grind herself a little bit of calamanthus powder in the bathroom and put it in her pouch and put the rest of the calamanthus in the tea box.
Wow, right there in the bathroom, huh? You just grind it?
In the
and-
stall. She's
Okay.
sitting in the stall by herself on the
That's on the back of the toilet seat.
Actually, I saw high school.
Okay.
She has a stone.
Wow.
It really looks like this. She's like,
She's in there with a spoon and a lighter.
You know, I never intended for this stuff to get anywhere beyond Zendrelda's grasp.
How?
how did you not expect this?
Because it was just like,
How did it not end up with her?
I know.
what?
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you let her carry her.
It's almost like you had us meet the people who were getting the package and then sent us with those people.
None of that entered my mind. I was never worried about the calamanthus. Wow. So,
Polymorph or something. Jesus
Make a
Christ.
wisdom
I know.
save.
all right. So you continue conversing in this very, very crowded tavern. After a little while, after about an hour, you still haven't got your tea. More drinks have been brought over. Something is brought over that's a Dyvers sunset, he calls it. And it just feels like, what it tastes like,
Made with tequila.
no, it tastes like ale with hot sauce.
Ooh, it's like a Michelada.
That's what I think. Sunset.
That at all.
Yeah, it really took care.
I'm not bad.
That sounds good.
Do you have any citrus? That would make
Citrus, really? I need to see if I can find some zest or something.
If you have zest, you have citrus.
No, I'm
just saying.
The way you said it.
So
Can you only zest citrus?
apparently that's all he can do.
Zest.
Yeah. So after an hour, you've gotten everything. You've gotten everything you wanted except for the tea.
Did we get the card?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
The cart's outside, I guess, with
Or is it
borax and the
Borax.
and
I
the.
assume while Borax was like kind of surly waiting.
Borax
for
will be
things to
hitching the cart to the horse, I guess.
Yeah, eventually I'll be like, oh, right, wait, hey, you should
I
go
got-
help him, right?
happen. When I got it, I helped hitch the cart up with the horse, and we stood there. I assumed
Did he
in
though?
silence.
Did he?
I don't know.
Well, I got the cart. I got.
I don't
the
care how the horse gets hitched to the car.
I in this
It's
interaction
really-
to figure out more.
Oh no, we don't.
So,
We explicitly do not talk.
do you want to continue to wait for your tea?
Yeah, I'm vacation.
How long
Quite a
have
bit
we
for that tea.
It's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
for tea?
Did you drink our tea?
Philadelphia's scary, but man,
And you haven't seen your server. Gone.
Oh, I'm gonna go
I did it for-
investigate this
yeah, I'm
because
going-
I spent gold on this tea.
8 people are dying, and then
And it's starting to clear out. You know, people are moving out. You know, merchants have finally had their
I
drink
was
and moving on.
walking straight into the back like an indignant customer.
Okay.
Straight into the back.
As you go to do that, I'm going to talk to one of the servers, probably pull some attention away from you. Like,
Appreciate it, figure.
yeah. No, but I'm doing it explicitly to ask where the server is. You're being a nuisance.
I'm sure they're just busy. That's not.
Hey, he's already gone.
Go, Borax, we might need you.
As you walk into the back, you see a bunch of cooks, you know, that are just sweating over preparing different meals and preparing for the later crowd that's going to come in the evening. It's starting to thin out a bit as merchants and traders they get on their way. They're just staring at you
I
like,
spot my server anywhere.
no,
No.
not passively, no.
Did you catch his
Some
name
random guy just took
at
our
any
tea.
point?
Never asked.
Cool.
Just server number one.
Cool. So I'm just like I was just
I'm
gonna
gonna
ask,
literally walk around. So like I'm gonna see if they have any hot water boiling anywhere. I'm gonna inspect every pot.
Is that?
Can I make a perception check? Or
Are you with him?
well, I meant just around the actual restaurant.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Around the tavern? Yeah, sure.
I don't know where the fuck they're going. I think your tea's gone.
I go up to. I know how it would be like a restaurant. I go up like at Affinity or something and like ask, but I go up to whoever I would talk to. Probably.
There's a few servers around.
Yeah.
Just not yours.
Yeah. Flag someone down. Like, hey,
A lady
like
walked.
server went missing about an hour ago. Took some of our stuff. Never filled the
Oh,
thing.
oh,
Gone about an hour.
oh, sorry. What's his name?
Server number 1.
What's he look like?
I described what it looked like because you never told us.
No.
But I do have eyes that see.
Make a history check.
Oh, that's Josh. That's Josh.
5 minutes ago.
Josh left. He left like half an hour ago. His shift was over.
God.
Ugh. Half an hour. That's a long time to brew tea.
Oh, no, we don't have tea here.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, if she goes along her way.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
How long does it
I'm in the back.
Twig is
I'm
gonna
in the
put
back.
her hand on yours and say,
everybody, there doesn't seem to
you
be
and there's
anybody
everybody
in
else.
charge back there right now. And as you're going through all this stuff, suddenly this larger man looks like doesn't look like a cook,
Yeah.
but he's dressed like one.
Okay.
Okay,
heavy deja vu?
Yeah, we're getting really into session
really
1
are.
territory.
comes out. He's like, "Why are you in my kitchen?"
Well, you see, one of your
Very calm.
servers.
Oh God.
You see, sir, one of your servers seems to have run off with my tea.
We don't have tea.
We brought it ourselves.
Why would you bring tea to a tavern?
Because my friend has had a rough day and he wanted a nice cup of tea.
Well, we don't serve tea. I told you. Why are you in my kitchen?
You allow
Seems
your
ready to
servers
really
to steal from your patrons?
No one's stealing. We don't sell tea.
It was very nice Luna tea.
Baluna tea. Baluna
Valuna.
priests
Yes.
tea.
Valuna's priest tea.
Okay. We don't sell tea.
Did I notice a shift in his when I mentioned what kind of tea it was?
Do you roll an insight?
Natural 20.
Wow.
Natural 20, 25 total.
He seems just really agitated. He didn't give a shit about tea. He's just agitated that you're standing there in his kitchen and talking about tea
May I ask a
when he's got stuff to do.
I'm going to
That's your
continue
insight.
to walk past him.
Out or around?
No, around.
Oh, okay.
If you're looking for this tea.
Roll a perception.
Is tea in this time period
22.
like the blocks or
yeah,
like still
22.
leaves and stuff?
Is it loose or?
Yeah, it could be
He
either way.
took the whole package of tea, right?
Yeah, he took the whole thing.
No, I only give him one because you said there was
Yeah,
10
he said
servings.
one packet.
Oh, well, they don't come in packets.
Yeah, it's a whole
They
block.
come in like the box. You have to like.
Well, I would have given him one. You said there was 10 servings.
You had to put him in his. You would have had to put it in his palm.
Yeah.
You would have to like take loose leaves
Lost
that you
the
peeled from the block and put it in his palm.
Alright.
So
Yeah, he's suffering here, right?
I didn't
It's like 9 portions.
see that happening. So yeah, he took the whole thing to brew you a cup of tea, or well, you didn't tell him cup or pitcher or
worry, if we find
whatever.
This is gonna
What did you roll perception?
yelp.
22.
22. Okay.
17 plus 5.
So as you're rolling around the kitchen, and this guy's just getting more and more furious. Over by the server station, you see the little box of tea.
I pick it up and I wave it. You don't have tea here, so you don't mind that I'm taking this. And I will walk back out into the main room of the tavern.
He just watches you walk out and looks at the others, and you hear him just go off on the kitchen staff. You hear just pots and pans and just everything just hitting the walls and the floors, people screaming, just this tirade going on from this really pissed off chef
Meanwhile,
in a frontier town.
area.
And opening it up, does it look like the full block is still there?
As you open it up, you see there's like a finger mark that's been like shoved into it.
Oh. Are we sure it's a finger?
Yeah. That's where my mind went to.
There's no,
The girth of
yeah, I mean, it's finger size. Other things could be, but you know, that would have been a very rigid finger to go
Told
through
me
that.
you weren't going to talk about that.
Yeah, sorry.
I said that.
Okay.
I order a
I have
hot cup of
opinions.
water.
You want a hot cup of water?
I asked the server then to give us some hot water while all of this bullshit is happening.
Okay, all right, yep.
It's really okay. We can just go. I mean,
Philadelphus comes out of the kitchen. Yes! I have returned your tea, but it has been defiled. I give him the box.
Like a finger's been
I shake it a little bit.
deeply driven down
All you
into
got to do
it.
is shake it up.
I shake it a little bit.
No, this is hard packed.
It's like Boston
shake
Tea Party tea. It's Boston Tea Party tea.
You gotta like dump it out and put it,
Fine.
stuff it
Really,
back
it's not a big
in.
deal. I think we are causing perhaps problems here. So let's.
Did anybody catch the name of our server? No?
Doesn't matter. And she's gonna
No,
go.
I'm just curious.
She's gonna go outside to the.
I just want to pray against him.
Damn. Fuck.
So as everybody came to the table, there's like leaving the table. discreetly.
Thank you for the gift anyway, and I appreciate you getting it back.
Don't worry, Eris. We'll get some clean water. I have a brewer's kit. I will make you some tea.
Thank you.
Well, about that time the hot tea arrives, or the hot water arrives
That came very quickly.
from another server.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell your friends his days is numbered.
Hot water. I assume you have like little tea bags and roast kit.
The server looks like, what friend? What friend do you
Our friend, the one who got off a little while ago.
On what?
Just let him know.
What do you get off of?
Who is a god's wrath will come.
She looks really disturbed. Roll
I
intimidation.
think it was just a dude.
Well, we got the rest of our order.
18. You just see her turn, just go pale, wide-eyed, just turn and run back into the kitchen where this tirade is still going on. And she runs out and toward the bathrooms.
Oh, are you still doing drugs in the bathroom?
You just messed up this woman's world.
Drugs in the bathroom.
Repacking.
I'm going to leave a pamphlet on the table. Now I need to make more.
I'm just weaponizing them.
So,
Is the tea enjoyable for when you have it after all this anxiety?
It is very good. Thank you.
a little bit minty.
I am sorry that this became such an ordeal.
I was gonna say, just sat down and
wanted
relax. It went tenfold again, and then
I
Just wanted tea.
I go out to the cart to meet up with.
I did not liquefy anybody this time.
Is this a milestone?
Remember how Ravek said we could hit a certain
Tea.
point and we're arguing over key?
Yeah, well, T never entered the milestone.
neither did the drug cartel. that
No, it didn't apparently.
Our Khajiit is going
Yes,
to
yes, we got the drug lord and making here.
Usher everybody to the cart.
So as are you leaving the town?
Did we pay?
do. We did.
Okay.
I
Just
I
making
paid
sure.
for our way in.
Well, actually, the guy left,
Oh, that's fair. All right, cool.
so nobody came to collect anything.
Sweet.
Apparently, it was pretty chaotic in there.
And I made our backup server cry, so
Yeah.
I think we're dying and dashing right now.
Right. All right. I don't even know.
Yeah, we pay tax
I
on
don't know how
it.
restaurants work.
Yeah. Well, so are you guys staying in the city or?
No.
No.
Fuck this game.
Okay.
No, we were just stopping for some
done.
food and some supplies.
Okay. All right. So moving on, departing this fortified settlement, this fort, basically,
Fortified.
of the free lands of Dyvers, the southern extremes, heading up the road toward Dyvers. You still have no idea how far you have to go to get there, since you didn't ask. So,
We don't ask for all
but
No.
it's very busy. These roads are busy going north and south. This is more of a northeast, southwest slant, as you can see, up the coast. And there are settlements along the way. Lots of patrols going back and forth. There are merchants, there's tradesfolk, there's travelers, all going in both directions. So it's fairly crowded, but you can move at a pretty decent clip so that you're moving normally anyway. Is there anything you wanted to do along the way to Dyvers? You're pretty much, I mean, you can see on the map, you're pretty much camping one night. And when you camp, there'll be others nearby, although they're all kind of keeping to themselves. It's just that crowded that, 50 feet away, there's another camp group, and across the street, across the road, there's another camp group, but they're all keeping to themselves. Some of them are quiet, some are more rowdy, but nobody has been threatening at any point along your travels. Anything you want to do along the way?
I'm gonna spend. Philadelphus is gonna spend some time redesigning the pamphlets.
Okay.
No, but like he's gonna make like the master copy that he's gonna.
Oh, the master copy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Woo! 19 plus 0, 19.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Wow, these are professional-looking pamphlets that are coming out. This is your master. You're going to trace over all of them with this. So, yeah, looking nice. Looking nice.
We need to raise our standards for this church.
Sure.
Are you taking the box off the horse every time you guys camp? Oh, you got a wagon now.
Now we
You
have
put it
a
in the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So,
Do you have a wagon?
yeah, I get a wagon.
The price of the wagon, by the way.
What's that?
I would like to, yeah.
I'm just gonna take Bruggy out of the
3 each.
barrel because I haven't throughout all this had a lot of time to hang out with my friends.
3 each,
So,
or
just gonna hang
I
out
guess
with my
doesn't
phone.
pay because I'm
Okay.
happy.
Borax will
Be
pay.
2.5 each.
2.5 each.
So 2 gold, 5 silver each.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know my gold amount because I'm on D&D Beyond, but I know I have a full weapon point efficiency.
Last I checked, I had 7 gold, even though the sheet says 124. So I've got 4 gold left to my name.
Love it.
After my purchases, so 2.5. I have gold and 5 silver.
Look at our card.
Cool.
So cute.
I spend the time trying to, and like I try to get a game of cards doing. I definitely spend it, like if you like aren't nervous or anything, I'm like trying very hard to get you to learn how to play cards.
I rolled a 16 on my intelligence check, so maybe I'm picking it up.
You're picking it up, and I
I'm
am.
holding them the right way.
I know. I look disproportionately proud of you.
Are we at a campsite?
Yeah, you're at a campsite. You can be at a campsite or trap, whatever you prefer.
Twig will climb up a tree,
Okay.
and then she'll cast Mage Hand and see how many times she can knock Borax's hat off before he notices that it's her.
You want me to roll that randomly?
Just gonna ping it, and then she'll dismiss it.
I don't have particularly high perception, so.
Until she gets bored of that, and then she'll just stop and go to sleep.
Are you like doing casual cat behavior where you're standing somewhere and then you're just knocking something off?
No, it's like the soju
She's
game
using
where you
Mage
try
Hand to do that, though. Like,
So it's
she's just-
magic. Yes.
Anytime we have any glass of any liquid at camp, it just flies off.
Don't leave it on the end of the table.
So the road you've been traveling, and not at night, of course, but during the day, you can see the barges traveling up, the ships. You see what looks like a ferry that's also moving up from Kaltaran toward the north. And it seems like there's a lot of traffic in this area as well, with goods going north, mostly north, but a few coming south as well. The night is going to pass uneventfully, and the next day is spent getting closer to Dyvers, and you can see that it's very quickly becoming more and more congested along the highway as you go. But by a little afternoon the next day, you can see the familiar silhouette of the city in the distance. And you can see a lot of the ships and barges and boats, fishing trawls and so forth that are out in the waters, that are coming in closer or leaving out from the northern harbor. And you know that you'll be there within an hour or so. To a familiar place once again. And that's where we're going to take our break and see how we manage back in Dyvers once more.
Check in with Jabal.
See you in a minute.
My tea back.
How do these feel so flimsy? How do you kill people with these?
Oh, I don't.
Huh.
It's magic.
See you in a little bit, bye.
Do you believe in magic? Welcome back, everyone. As we get started into our second half of tonight's episode, the party is approaching Dyvers. And you can see that there are three entrances to Dyvers. One is through the gate that leads more toward the docks. The other, and this is all just on the southwest side. As you know, that when you guys left through the gates the first time, you left through the southern gates. But there are three entrances. The road kind of breaks off and goes into the dock entrance, the Old Town entrance, and then the northern Old Town entrance into Dyvers, then splits off from there. The main entrance seems to be the one in the middle that leads into the Old Town proper. What would you like to do? Hard decision.
We'll
Guess we're going down the main road.
We'll approach
So-
the main
Main road? Okay. So you enter the Old Town. It's not that you're entering on Black Street, and it's a wide avenue paved with flat black stones that runs from the west wall's northern pedestrian gate to the opposite number on the east wall. It's just on the southwest border of the west side of the city as wall. The southeast portion of the Old Town is broken by these low, broad hills that elevate from the rural grounds where you initially, when we started this whole thing, saw those hangings take place. Then you can see them in the distance above the hills as it rises on the hills toward the center of the city. But what you notice most about the Old Town is that its construction, the buildings, the businesses, the establishments that are here are very, very similar to ones that you were familiar with in the trade district, where you had your encounter at the tavern and met with Jabal and the spice merchant. But here, these same types of buildings seem to be less maintained, less taken care of. Mostly unskilled laborers, bodyguards, gamblers, some visiting traders. You have some shipwrights, here and there, poor merchants, just an eclectic group of mostly mid to low, low level of affluency. Dock workers, sailors, but you're not on the docks itself in Old Town. It's like getting away from the docks, but not quite getting to the that upper echelon in the trade and other districts of the city. As you travel through here, the gates are manned, but they're open. It's late in the afternoon. There's a stream of carts and wagons and travelers going back and forth in and out to the city. Not so many coming out, but more going in as it's getting late in the day. But nobody's being stopped. There's no tolls being taken. There are groups of soldiers just kind of watching, the same free city soldiers that you saw in the last city you were in. As you get in to the city itself, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Rue. Are we?
I don't think we should stay long.
Yeah. Anybody
Not-
need to stop here?
Well, for
It's late in the day at this point.
it is night. I figure a different part of town. I like staying in a different part of town.
And then everyone to ask for tea again.
So remember, the trade district is where
Everything went down.
last time. That's where the magistrate was. He was in charge of that area as far as the rule of law. You're in the Old Town right now. Shoddier, but, different part of town.
I like the fact that it's shoddier.
We could stay here, or we could go to the docks district.
Ooh, yeah, docks.
Or we can go through town and park just outside the gate.
That's
Good.
kind of what I was thinking. Why don't we just go all the
I'd
way
cheer
through
for
town?
that.
Do we have to stay in town?
Nope.
Can we just go through?
Yep.
Could just go through, but also
I mean-
fence.
I'm not opposed to it, but last time we were on the road at night, some shit went down.
Sure, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we've also been on
We
the road
always
and
go
nothing
on
has
the
gone
road.
down.
Well, we've been around more people. Right now we're outside. We'd be outside the walls of the city.
Last time we were on the road, we were stopped in the woods and nothing happened.
You're thinking traveling at night as opposed to sleeping at night.
Did we not set up camp near other people? Is that not something that happened?
We did.
when we stopped on the road.
did.
But there might be
Yeah,
people camping outside of the wall as well here.
Is that common?
Did we see people camping outside the walls?
Yeah, I mean, especially here, it's not unusual at all. And having been in Dyvers previously, you would know that along the Greyhawk Road on the other side of the city is this huge tent city of transients, merchants, traders.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
A lot, yeah. I
Pretty
mean,
interesting.
Okay,
There's a-
that's good.
I kind of wish
there's
we
a-
went around the city. That way we don't have to cut through the trades district. But you know,
That's yeah.
you're at the gates right now, just pondering. You see the gates in the distance, we'll say, pondering what to do.
Well, I mean, there's not really a road that goes around the city.
We'll take that low. We can just take that low road out up towards the tent city.
Yeah.
So the center highway right through.
No, there's an
Dyvers?
even lower one than the center
Okay, the one at the docks.
No, the one closer to the bottom
No,
of the
she's
screen.
thinking down by.
Oh, and Royal Street that takes you up onto the royal grounds where the hangings were, the palace, all the temples, and then
and then take TD2 up. Or trade
And
district road
yeah, the
2.
trade
Going
district.
through or in and out.
It's up to
We
you.
can't take TD4 to TD2, either one to TD2 and out.
Why are you guys afraid of walking through the trade district?
I
You haven't
personally,
been banned from the city.
I don't
Personally,
think we
I'd
need to
rather
run
go to the
into the
doctors
boss
first.
right now, but he might have questions.
I don't mind going through the trade district.
He's the one that sent us on this.
Yeah.
We still have the Calamathus that we were supposed to deliver.
Oh, we're not getting.
He don't know that.
We don't have any Calamanthus. We don't have any Calamanthus.
The Tabaxi has Calamathus.
Apparently, the Baxi has let everybody know she has a Calamathus.
Apparently.
But we're not inside.
No secret.
I defer my opinion.
I wrote Calamanthus down as the name of the city we're in.
That was Catalan? Catalan?
Yeah, I guess
We
it's
know-
a weird
we know
name.
what
Here,
both in
here's
terms
the
of-
thing, though. The fact that we have this dog in the box means that we gave the Calamanthus to the witch.
Yep.
That's all. That's all your boss needs to know.
He's not wrong. That's
Oh,
true.
but to be
I
fair,
feel like he can smell it on us or something.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about we don't really need to give him any updates right now. There's nothing he needs to know.
Yeah, we don't even see him.
And we don't need to run into those guys we didn't get finished killing either, to be fair.
So let's just go through town to the tent city and then set up shop there. Unless
Yes.
Borat needs another
so straight
freaking
through.
tent.
Shortest route is a straight line, guys.
Yeah, so we'll go straight through the
Borat.
trade district. And we go to the outside of the
No,
tent.
Borat's funnier.
Alrighty,
Whatever works.
let's do it.
Borat.
My wife.
So it's a busy time of the day as you move through the city. You can, especially in the old town, because I mean you're getting a lot of traffic coming from the way that you came, and as it splits off into the various avenues and streets and so on as you move forward, the old town is very, very busy and crowded. As you move past the royal grounds, you can see them off to the right and extending there. You get into the trade district, which you are somewhat familiar with the broader roads and the nicer shops and restaurants and taverns, where you see they're two-level. Where most likely, as you would know, in places like this and just being in this world, owners often live above their shops. The common market that you pass, and the rows upon rows of the woody booths and colorful awnings. You can hear the hawkers that are crying, the last sales of the day, trying to entice those most stubborn customers in before they close for the night. And then there's the larger buildings, the warehouses, the homes, the libraries that you pass, the guild houses, inns, and so forth. You're not in the same exact area as you were when you went to the Red Boar Tavern, so you don't actually pass it. So you don't come close to that. But of course, you're somewhat familiar with the area as you make your way out. The opposite side takes you about an hour and a half to get through. And it's quite dark by the time you get through the opposite gate, just getting through the crowds with your wagon and moving along, just chugging along until you get out onto the Greyhawk Road, where you see this vast tent city that's set up. And some of it looks, there are a few nice tents. Some of it looks like they're fairly permanent, like they've been there for a long time. And then others, as you kind of get out from the center, it gets more temporary, where obviously traders that can't afford to stay in town, stay outside with their retinues and so forth, or their employees. Your best bet for finding a place would be on the outer ring, as it seems just really, really crowded and smelly and dusty right here outside the city gates.
It's open air.
Yeah, I mean, it's open air, obviously. No, there's a big dome.
We're in the Truman Show.
And Tina Turner, Thunderdome! So, what do you want to do?
Looks like a good as place as any.
Let's find some place to
Whoever's
sleep.
on watch should maybe sit on top of the crate. Make sure nobody decides to go snooping in it in the middle of the night.
I'll do first portions.
Just to make sure. The crate is locked, right?
4 locks.
4 locks.
One key.
We're not unlocking that for any reason.
I have the
Who has the
key.
key? You have the key.
No one's ever finding it in my closet.
Same key fits all 4 locks, by the way, just to clarify. So,
Good. I was wondering about that. I was like, well, 4 locks. We have 1 key.
Nothing a pair of bolt cutters can't solve.
I will take second watch, but in the meantime, I think I am gonna. I missed playing the flute on the corners. I'm gonna go see if I can.
Do that towards like the center of the tent city. Something.
Would you like to join me?
No.
so all in his own, Eurus goes off to kind of the central area with a big bonfire. There's merchants in the night that are selling food and drink and so forth.
No, that roll doesn't
Off
get
to
tanked.
play your flute.
Yep.
Yes?
Trying to. The smoke from the fire is kind of like throwing me off.
Now you can go to the other side of the fire.
I'll try that next time
Did
with
you shoot
my.
human space? He's like,
You're like 85% air.
So are the rest of you staying at your camp that you've...
I'm already sitting on the box.
Okay, all right.
Crisscross.
I'm
So-
taking the time. I didn't do this earlier to sew some gold sew some of the gold in my coin purse into like some of my clothes as a just
How much?
in case. I'm gonna say 10 gold.
Okay.
In assorted variants of copper.
Yeah,
or
that's fine.
gold, copper, silver. Yeah.
All right, it's not going to weigh you down.
No. It's like no, you shouldn't weigh it. That's not how you do it. But yeah.
No, that's fine. They're just little.
A nice
Remember,
little
coins are
emergency-
tiny.
Like a nice little emergency fund.
It literally just sounds like.
Except metal.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you rolling for performance?
A 5.
Okay, so you're sitting there literally by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's lots of people around. They're having a merry time dancing, and you can see half of them are drunk. This is a very, very hippie-ish type crowd that is around this huge bonfire that they've created in the center of this tent city. You don't see any folk that are of the well-dressed sort here. This is your base humanity.
He's not necessarily trying to like make a lot of money. He just misses street performing.
It's not just humanity.
With a 5, that's good.
Yeah.
You see, one of the things that, by the way, just as a mention, one of the things you might have seen as you walk through the center of the entire city was centaurs that are pulling loads on wagons. And it wasn't just one off of a centaur pulling a load of wagons. It was more. It seems like it's almost like a cookie cutter type thing with these wagons and centaurs that are carrying goods around the city to various places. Just, for dicker's sake.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Makes a mental note. I thought how I feel about that for some reason.
as you're sitting there, roll a perception.
I'm feeling dejected, so I'm very observant. 24.
Wow. Fuck. As you're sitting there,
Smoke from the
like
fire.
just shit performance. Everybody's like just going to the other guy, around the other side of the fire, just having a good time, attracting everybody. Very personable, very, charismatic.
So sometimes that's
You see a fellow with blonde hair, leather armor, slight build, young, probably in early 20s, walking through the smoke of the night with the lamplight and the firelight just kind of playing off his face. The shadows, almost giving it like looks familiar, but then not. Getting closer and closer. His eyes just focused on you.
Like getting the smoke out of my eyes, looking up. Is this like flowers around?
No,
vision
you
or
see,
no? Just
this
looking
individual
up.
is like coming through.
Wasn't sure if I was falling in love.
No, it's all. And as he gets closer, he seems to be, dead set walking toward you. As he gets closer, you begins to resolve, and you recognize these features. For a moment, it takes you a second. Who's this guy? He's cleaned up. He's armed, nicely polished, clean leather-studded armor. He's got a scabbard that looks like it's new. And as he walks closer to you, he stops about 5 feet in front of you. Yours?
Banger.
Not anymore.
Ah, I am glad to see that you have changed.
Well, I've had no choice, you see. You recall what the magistrate said. I'd end up in the Marines, which is not at all what I want. And since our leader died, I decided that I would take new employment. And so, I went to work for Jabal.
Oh, how is that working out for you?
So this is Erewhon.
Okay.
Well,
wasn't many it could be.
this is Erewhon. And he's
We're
like,
only ever 5.
I was surprised to see you back in the city.
We are only stopping by. We have a task bestowed upon us, but we decided the highway or the high road is the quickest way.
Well, I suppose it's not totally surprising that you would return from the tower. I suppose you have the box with the creature that is going to Henway as expected.
21 insight.
He seems to be very sincere. He seems to be very knowledgeable, and he seems to be there for a purpose.
Do I get any maliciousness behind the purpose?
Maybe a slight. I wouldn't say malicious. I would just say his intent is determined. He has a very determined intent, and so he says, "Well, our employer would like to see you since you've passing back through."
Oh,
Well, not just you, but all of you.
I'm sure everyone will be excited to see you, especially you look very cleaned up. Come.
Yes.
I'll show you where our camp is.
I'm a new man. I've turned over many leaves to become who I am now in the days that you've been gone.
Well, your time has been kind to you. Come, let us go say hi to everybody. I'm sure they will be excited.
So he is very confident. You get that as part of your insight. And he just strides beside you. Last time you saw this guy, he was like curled up in a fetal position in the corner of a jail cell. And so now he's very, very confident as he moves with you.
I'll walk side by side. I'm being very friendly, making small talk. And then as we get within maybe 50 feet of camp, everyone look! I found Alwyn!
I shoot him in the neck.
He no longer bangs.
Don't start rumors.
As he says that,
I do bang, I'm just not a banger anymore.
Right.
I pop out of my tent just to laugh.
That's so funny.
Good to see you all. Working for our employer, Jabal Keldrick, as you know. He's aware that you've entered the city and thought that he might discuss with you the progress that you've had with obtaining the creature that you went to Zendrella, and I'm sure he would love to hear whatever tales that you might have to tell about your travels.
All pretty standard here. I'm sure you can tell him for us.
Well, he sent me specifically to suggest that you accompany me to his office this evening, along with the box that carries the creature, whatever it might be. He has some curiosity about it, but mostly he would just like to touch base with all of you.
Why don't you go with your buddy?
Can I do a quick insight
We'll
just to
wait for
make sure
you
that's
here.
a genuine?
Sure, absolutely.
21.
21. He seems to definitely be on a mission to inform you of this, and he's determined to perhaps prove himself by bringing you back per his boss's wishes.
Does he seem like he's leaving anything out, or like he's?
He's no, I mean, he's not, he doesn't, you don't get the idea that he's gonna, like, you know, try and assassinate anybody. He's, you know.
No, he knows better.
He's there for a particular reason, to deliver this message and to bring you back with him. Mm-hmm. As far as you can tell. So, would you mind? I mean, he's
Yes, we would mind.
he's
My chance.
he's offered set out a fantastic spread for you this evening. I'm sure you're hungry. Lots of food and drink. He's very, very curious about tales of Zendrelda. I know only a bit of what has occurred prior to me joining his organization, and I know that there was some kind of rough patches you went through with him, and he hasn't been too forthcoming, but he does have some pent-up concerns about your ability to carry out what he asked, and I'm sure that he would be very disappointed if you didn't show him proof that you had brought back what you said you would from Zendrelda. And I just suggest, look, we have a history. You know, I was in a cell. You could have beaten me to a pulp. I owe you
still
something.
could.
Yes, you could. But now it'd be different, because then somebody more powerful might take offense to that. I appreciate how you didn't kill me, and you didn't leave me maimed or murdered or unable to move my legs forever. So I'm just being honest. He just wants to talk to you about your progress and feel comfortable that the group that he's hired to do this job has done it well.
Wasn't that whole thing that happened a test in the beginning anyway?
Yeah.
Didn't we already prove ourselves with that first test? What's the need for
Yeah, but
now
then we
this whole
got
interview in the middle of it?
arrested. We all got arrested. It was such a mess.
And
And
apparently that was a test
Because-
from
Yeah.
I
the
don't
wall.
think that part
He
was
sent
a
you
test.
and your friends after us as a test, so all of that was the aftermath.
Well, no. I don't
Yeah,
know.
pretty much.
You can ask him all this if you like. I don't
don't
know.
need to
I
ask
just joined. I had a boss. I got a new boss. I've turned over a new leaf. I'm not murdering folk anymore. I'm very happy in my life standards, and you can see I'm doing well. I will stay this way. Please just come with me and assure the man that you're doing the job that you said you would.
Can you
One.
write the boss a note?
He's not going to accept an.
One, sounds like you lot have made some bad decisions that have led you here. And two, sounds like he's going to want to open that box.
Yeah, he can't open
No.
the
I don't
box.
think that's a good idea.
He's not opening that
I think
box.
so.
So
I think you could tell him you saw the box. Box looks great. We look great. Everything's fine. We'll see him when we've done the job.
Here's the thing. You see, if you don't go talk to him, it's highly likely that he'll send people here to take the box because he doesn't have confidence in you any longer.
Remember what happened the first time he tried?
Yeah, but you're dealing with a much higher standard of cutthroatery. And I would just suggest that maybe just talking to him, since he is your employer, you did accept money from him, as I understand it, just assure him that everything's fine. He doesn't have any intent, as far as I know, of anything more than just talking with you and getting this assurance.
It doesn't seem like we have a choice.
He's honestly a surly merchant. This is just standard surly merchant shit.
I'd also like to point out that we completed the task he gave to us. The task we are currently on is technically for Lord Headway.
Doesn't matter. He's the type that he just will have a grudge. He's already proven himself to be
All right,
his person.
Meta question. Is the dog actually dead?
No, it's
undead.
like a
You don't know?
dead
It's
dog.
undead.
Yes.
This isn't undead dog that
It
can
dropped
like.
Olsen.
But as long as it's locked in this box,
It's
it
like a
seems to be-
statue.
It seems calm.
It's kind of like a statue in the
The
box.
box has been calm this whole time.
It's a stasis box, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an undead dog.
It's like a really big Pokeball.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it hasn't been shaking around or there's been
Doesn't
nothing
see
from
it.
the box. It's almost like it's not in there.
I don't think we have a choice. It's
I-
making it seem like we have to go talk to him.
I think
Well, we
We've
could all have a
already
nice
caused
cup
a
of tea
trem-
together.
That's
we've
true.
already caused a tremendous amount of harm to our mission, and I think that we ought to go kiss the ring, as it were.
Sure.
Great, I'll stay with the box. Here.
No,
pretty
we
sure
are
the
bringing the
box
box.
has to come.
Bringing the box. We're not opening the box, but we're bringing the box.
How do you...
He specifically said he wants to check out what's
He
going
wants to
on.
peek
Well,
in the
he
box.
said he wants to check out what's in the box.
Oh, he didn't say anything about opening a box. I'm just saying he just wants to be assured that you have what you went to get and that he's comfortable after all that you've been through that I don't know much about.
I'm sitting crisscross in the background.
The concern we have is that last time this box was opened, there was bad things.
Well,
I don't know
I
about it.
can if we have an hour, I can do something to make sure that won't be a problem.
Well, you know what? You
Which
can
is?
sit in the cart with the box, do that,
If
and then
you
we
tell
bring
us
it
we
on the
might
way.
have the hour, if not, then
I can make it so it won't pop back to life for 7 days.
7 days.
It's not alive.
We have more than
That, well,
7
I'm
days of
saying
travel.
as long as it's in the box, I can cast a spell on it that'll keep it from becoming undead for 7 days.
No, it's already undead. It's
No, but right now it's in this weird fate. I want to cast ceremony on
Carry the
it
4.
and see if that will stave off whatever is bringing it back to
But you have to cast it on the
on the creature.
creature itself, right? Yeah, so you'd
You
have to open the box.
You have to open the box.
No, which is fine. I mean, I'm just clarifying.
And you're also wanting to cast your first level spell on something Ravek designed to
Well,
fuck
it's
with us.
a ritual. It's a ritual. So
Hey, you guys put it in the box once. You can do it again
Still
if it got out, right?
I don't care.
Ceremony isn't the marriage though?
Again.
Marriage, atonement, coming of age. There's a bunch of things.
How long does it take to cast it? To cast the spell? Because if it's like
An hour
if
and
it's
10
like,
minutes.
if it's like pop the box open, and you're like boom, you're not doing
Yeah.
anything. That's fine. But like to keep this thing contained for an hour and 10 minutes is not
Ask
really
what's in the box.
an option on the table. No, shut up. That's really.
I'm just saying, if perhaps we hogtied it.
It is hogtied.
It is hogtied.
It
Yeah.
is wrapped in a canopy.
It is.
It's got a
His
tent
tent.
over. It's like a little
It goes
beggar's,
head with stuff
a
around.
beggar's
Yeah, it is.
purse.
I'm saying whatever magic is bringing this, I think I can stave it off for a week.
You were there for all
I
of this.
just
I'm
don't-
surprised you're not more aware.
Well, I'm
So to be
surprised.
clear-
Well, I forgot that I had a spell list for a while.
Other than you, I'm the strongest here. And, like, yeah, I'm pretty decent, but it's not like I'm anything special.
It was just a recommendation.
So- no, it's-
but in the end, we either way, this box has to go back to him for the time
I
being.
think so too. And so,
Yes.
genuinely, I like the recommendation. I just don't think we're going to keep that thing set.
If you don't mind,
Sure, you may speak.
roll intimidation, by the way. Just, I just would suggest that if you're going to do something like that, you might want to bring the box to him first, and then do it with him, as with his permission,
was your name?
agreement. R1, you know my name.
I only got enough.
Other one, I'm glad I didn't liquefy you. That's a good idea.
Me too. That was
Still have
horrifying. You just see him kind of shiver at that.
Do I get
And now
anything
they're
for my
gonna-
intimidation over that?
Probably
That was the help.
by association.
12.
He's a little bit intimidated, a little by you, a lot by you. But I just think you should, before you do anything, just bring it to him and let him know what you like to do. I'm sure he'll be perfectly fine with that. Believe me, I owe you my lives. You could have destroyed me at any time.
Still good.
I used to like
I think I need
tobacco
to
so
cast
much.
ceremony on the entire party. I feel like we all became evil.
I just imagining just like with a straight blade.
Anybody want to get married?
I get you to start help taking down the tent because I assume this is going to take time. I just have
Oh no, you don't have to do any of that. Nobody will touch any of you. So they've seen me here
know
with
you're
you.
not in favour,
They won't touch
but I
anything.
think-
They won't
think
touch. I
the box
promise.
is,
Everything will be exactly as you left it.
I take down the tent.
I trust Erewhon. I say we not waste time and just go.
He was a thug less than a week ago.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust him, but I just don't know if we have another option.
I can cast ceremony.
Yeah,
on
we
him.
have an option. We
Change his alignment
hit
back.
the road, and he
Sorry,
can send another 5 thugs for us to kill, like we killed the last 5
They're not
thugs.
they're going to be much stronger than the bangers.
I start picking up the box and putting it on
What
the
does
horse.
air want?
Well, it's gonna take like
to help you.
it takes like 4 of you to do that.
Well, me and him can.
Or 2 of you, yeah.
Oh, man,
It's like 300-pound
Give me
box.
hands.
Shall we put it to a group vote?
I can lift 300.
Oh, now Twig is helping.
10.
Okay.
No, I'm not helping. No, wait, I'm not helping.
Since we don't know.
I don't jump. I don't jump when the man says how high.
I think
You shouldn't.
I'm just,
should now.
I'm just saying we probably need to go talk to him and us
Well,
dancing
everyone
around the
has
issue
been-
Well,
right
if we
now
want to
doesn't
leave,
matter.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't really have strong feelings one way or another. My opinion is that we don't have another option. I think we're going
I
to
feel like
struggle.
I always have an option.
It's surly merchants.
You guys
they
just wanna
do
leave?
this.
I'll just hang out here. You guys do whatever you want.
If we want to leave, let's go. I'm okay not going.
Let's put it to a group vote. Who
Let's just
wants
go.
to go?
Let's go.
Go where? Go to.
Go leave, go
No,
to
no,
him.
go to
You know what? No, I don't want to go.
Herman raises his hand like,
Shush.
I'm genuinely okay not going.
Erewhon boy, what do you want?
I would like you to go. I vote to go.
That's nice. You're not in the group.
How old is everyone?
You look like you're about 21, 22.
21. Okay.
Young, fresh
I'm not
face.
acting younger.
From his description, it's just me. It's just me. It's
That's
just
pretty much on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just built the character on him.
Yeah. Because he was like, like early 20s, like blonde hair.
He's got the horn rimmed glasses, the whole
Yeah.
thing. That's him. He's got.
He's got dice tattoos.
They're like, what are these? Like, what are those? He's like, well, I play this game, right? We all sit around a table.
I really love geometry.
People have asked me what chakra this is. I'm like, oh.
It's
Nerd
the
chakra.
D4. It's
This one?
yeah, it's the D4 chakra.
All right, so are we going to him or not?
Yeah, who-
We're going.
Gus
we
is
need to
asking
know.
now.
We aren't doing anything. I'm staying here. Anyone who wants
I
to
mean,
stay with me
everybody
can
that wants to
stay.
participate in this
The rest
scene.
of you can go. We don't have to vote.
If we are not bringing the box and
We're
only
bringing-
some
we
of
have
us
to bring the box.
see, that is the problem we are having then.
So if we don't want
Take
to bring
the
the
box.
box, if we don't want to bring the box, I think we shouldn't go. I think we should just leave. I think we should just not.
He's literally our employer. He's being a pain in the ass, but that's a merchant. He's a pain in the ass because
Borax,
that's
do you
his
have
fucking job.
any insight on this one
Let's
way or
just
the
do
other
it.
on what we should do?
Borax is very wise. What do you think?
I don't know about that. I do know I was tasked with keeping Rebel in line. Seems to have failed miserably so far. So my vote is, if you've taken this man's money and he needs XYZ along the way, you should do it.
Well, he paid us, just because you were not there, he paid us to deliver the thing to Zindrilla. After that, getting the thing from Zindrilla to Lord Hemway is paying us for that. So technically we're working for Lord Hemway right now.
No, he tasked you with getting the bag to Zendrelda and then taking her package to Henway. Henway's gonna pay you for it, but this guy told you to do it.
And we chose to come through Dyvers rather than taking a more direct path. So I think we ought to, at this point, succumb to what we will. Otherwise, we end up in a situation with the bangers where it's somebody way more threatening than our one.
Well,
Just
Fair.
we're just going.
okay.
Alright.
I
you
have
okay
packed
with
up
this,
my
Steve?
tent.
You have your own free will. You can do whatever you like.
Well,
Are you gonna stay in?
if we are going
I'm
to
not.
go,
I've already said I'm not going.
we need the box.
Either you go and come back with the box, or you go and you don't come back. Either way works for me.
We're taking the box.
So we're
with us.
taking the
She's
box.
Keeping herself here.
We're leaving the cat.
Yeah.
We're taking the dog.
Okay, cool.
It's like vacation.
I will wait with Twig then. I do not like one of us being on our own.
Okay.
I don't think any of us should be there.
You were all told to go. I think you should all go, or none of you should.
I think if a party member's missing and we get there and we go, it's like, oh, why is she not here? And we're like, oh, shit, trust you. Like,
You're
it's
not. I'll go, but we're not opening the box.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we good?
100%.
Are we good?
Fine.
Can we see into the box at all, or is it
No.
completely sealed?
4 locks, 1 key. Like heavy oak sealed.
I mean, now out of game, because like let's just have a moment. So if we're not gonna open the box, we're putting ourselves in a tavern situation again. I feel like where it will be forcibly opened.
Of course it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna like.
So I'm like, at that point, do we want to run and face whatever consequences wait us on the
It's
road on
not
the way
worth-
into
I think
Greyhawk?
It'll be it's
That
either.
has consequences. Then.
Yeah,
If he
it's-
chooses to open the box, if we explicitly warn him that there's a dangerous being,
And that's what I'm saying. And possibly
I don't
now
think
we're in a
it's-
situation where there's more hands to subdue it. And if I could
course.
place that spell on
I
him,
don't think
yeah.
it's our consequences then.
Yeah.
We're going. He's gonna do something dumb. He's gonna blame us if anything goes wrong. We're just gonna.
I mean, I'll tell him I fucking died when we encountered it the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you
Went
know.
down.
Sorry.
It
What?
appears we are going.
Yeah.
Fine.
All of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the cart, the horse, the
All or
box,
nothing. Yeah. That's-
tents? Are you like packing up camp?
He said to go because then he has
Okay,
food
I mean,
for us?
he said you could leave everything, but you can pack up if you want and take everything with you. It's up to you.
Stuff over here with the-
Oh, it will be safe. It will be perfectly safe.
No,
take necessary
that's
stuff.
fine. We'll back up.
Very well.
Alright. Comfort.
He's not expecting us to
You
come.
must understand, Aaron, we are going into an uncomfortable situation. So let's.
Oh, no, no.
We'll take our
You have
comfort.
nothing to worry about. I assure you, on my honor.
There's no honor
How do you
among
think that
thieves.
means anything?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
I mean,
Like, I'm not. It's not even like trying to be disrespectful. It's just we've
I'm
only had
disappointed
one
in
other
myself.
Situation with you.
I don't know if we have a place to talk about honor at this point.
So you pack up your shit. It's dark. It's probably 8, 9 o'clock at night. Go caravanning back through Greyhawk Road, through the big bonfire where
We roll play that.
some of the hippie folk were dancing, just kind of like moving out of the way, looking weirdly at Eurus, like, oh, that guy, he can't play.
What that level up?
Moving on
You want your key points?
into the trade district. Back down some of the roads you're very familiar with. Passing along the way at this point, since you're going some of the side roads, the Red Boar Tavern, just longingly, maybe not so longingly, but remembering everything that occurred. Seems like it's as busy as it was before, which is not very. I'm not seeing anybody you recognize as you pass the open, partially open doorways along the way, people going in and out. Certainly bringing back memories.
Yeah, like the guy who wanted to hang us. You just remember him. Just checking.
He was kind of nice though.
Oh, and not even looking in that direction as he goes on, leading you exactly back to the same warehouse with the offices in the back that you've been to before, with the scent of spice in the air and the various crates and barrels and so forth that look like they're prepared to go to all parts of Flannis, or coming in from. As you pass through this warehouse to a set of doors, and you see that there's a couple shadowy figures standing astride the door. There's workers inside that are paying attention to you, kind of eyeballing you as you walk through with this cart, this horse, the box in the back. Obviously, you can't get through the doorway into the back area with the horse, the cart, the box. You can leave the box here. They'll take care of it.
There's no shot.
Well, you can carry it in if you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
you?
We can
See it?
I didn't mean like leave it. I mean they would carry it.
Oh.
And he indicates the two guys, big burly guys,
Okay.
on each side of the door.
That's fine. Or do we want to?
No, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's like 600 pounds.
Will they
Calls over.
let me stand in marching order terms behind them?
300 pounds.
Yeah, it was 300.
They don't care. They just walk.
That's fine.
Arlen calls them over.
That's
Straight,
fine.
my
But so
character
I'm
is heavier than
behind
it is.
them, and then it's them, and then.
Weirdly enough, it seems like Arwen has a little bit of pull. As he's like motioning them over, they're like immediately walking over or rushing over to grab the box, doing as he orders to pick this box up and take it through the doors, following however you guys want to be behind the box, in front of the box, whatever. They're carrying the box into this long hallway that leads down to the very opulent offices with this sort of sitting room of Jabal Keldrick. As you enter this smoky chamber, it smells like just incense, heavy incense, everywhere. And it's kind of smoky and cloudy at night. You've never been here at night. And it's got a few orange lanterns here and there that are lit. Jabal sitting behind his desk, watching, not saying a word as you walk in with the other two and Arwan, carrying the box. He stands up and smiles. Good to see you all again. Arwan, my son, just leave it there to the side, please. Please. But stay with us. You have much to learn.
Did she just say son? Okay, cool.
Adopted.
Okay.
Well, it could also just be because he's younger than him. He said Aaron's like 20.
Yeah.
Would you all like a seat? And a servant man comes in and immediately starts to proffer drinks. It's like a cool ale with a little bit of a minty flavor to it.
Did they put the box down?
Yeah, the two burly men put the box
As
down.
everyone goes to sit, I just say crisscross again on the box.
Okay. And then they take positions inside the doorway, but at a distance of about 20 feet away. It's a very, very large sitting room.
Can
I see.
Can I just do a quick, insight perception? Something, just... You said that, now my brain's paranoid, because you said you had a little bit of pull. Does there seem to be any sort of familial connection between these
Roll an
guys? Or is
insight.
it just a dude who's older?
Roll an insight.
That's a sexy 6.
Yeah,
I have no clue.
it could be either way.
He's your brother.
Oh no, I'm from so far left field.
So, as Jabal retains his seat again, he brought the box. You know what's in there? Tell me. Tell me what's inside.
Some kind of undead demon dog?
It was very aggressive.
And yet you are all here. All of you alive and well.
Almost weren't.
But you're here, nonetheless. Oh, what do you think about that? They survived it. They brought this demon dog back in a box, so they say. Should we open it?
No.
Oh!
No.
No, I don't suppose we should, Father. I don't think that we should really open this. I agree. Too many of Hinway's strange creatures have ravished Greyhawk in the past. I don't want to do the same in Dyvers. It's not a good reputation or thing to have to deal with, my son. In any case, as you have probably realized, Arwan is my son. He's decided to come back to me and learn the business. So, he'll be dealing with spices before too long. In any case, I'm glad to see you're all here and alive. And I'm glad to see that you've got what you went to get in Zendrelda. How was she, by the way?
Crazy.
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken? Heartbroken? I understand the crazy. Good?
Yeah, it's just fine.
All right, fine. Heartbroken? What is this, heartbroken?
I go to say something that I'm gonna side-eye the rest of the group for. Her lover was, well, she lost somebody.
She's a witch that's crazy out in the middle of the fucking forest, and you're telling me she had a lover? Who's she doing, the druids?
Is this one of those moments where I am saying too much and I should stop?
You can clarify a little bit.
Borax is just standing in the back of the room, letting them all go. He didn't work for this guy.
Yeah, sometimes one of the orcs, the Black Hand orcs was...
You know what, I don't care. Look, you talk too much anyway. Yeah, she's crazy. I've asked you here for twofold reasons. My eldest son, Zeb, has disappeared. And as inept as sometimes you seem to be, at least in our last meeting, I believe that you might be somewhat capable, by accident or divine inspiration, I don't know, of getting things done.
Or
You
by
bought the
pure
box.
skill.
No, there's something else. But you bought the box. I believe there's a creature in it, maybe a demon dog or whatever you might call it. And that's something. I need you to help me find my son, Zeb. I'll keep the box here and safe for you while you do this. I need you to go to Old Town to an inn called the Hawk and Hound Inn. And there you'll talk to the proprietor. His name is Toomey. And he'll tell you what he can about some mysterious thievings that have been taking place in Old Town lately. I don't know it has anything to do with Zeb. But when I went to an oracle who granted me an augury, she suggested that might be the way to start. If you do this for me, I'll pay you 1,000 gold.
Fine. Where'd you say you last saw him? You know what he was doing in that part of town?
Zeb has got himself mixed up into a nefarious situation. He's moonlighting, I guess, with the Thieves Guild here in town. I don't approve of it. And I don't know that they had anything to do with anything that may have transpired with him. All my sources and the augury agree that something else entirely has befallen him. How difficult, devastating it might be, I don't know. But the thing is, I just need to go out and find it. I need to find him. Go talk to Toomey. See what you can find out about these mysterious thievings that have been taking place. Because somehow they're related. I don't know how at all. Find Zeb. Return him to me. Or give me information as to what has become of him. And you'll be rewarded handsomely. Then you may continue on to Lord Henway with this crate with a dead dog in it, as you say, to receive your reward.
Excuse me.
Yes.
If they bring him back dead, are they still getting paid? What results do you need to pay them? Y'all need to figure these things out.
I just need information. If it turns out that he's being held by someone, I'll take care of it. I don't expect you to be these heroes that will go in and infiltrate the Thieves Guild or a rival merchant or whatever. If he's being held somewhere, I'll take care of it. If something else has happened to him, if you discover some evidence of his whereabouts, all you need to do is let me know. Once I know, I'll get him released. I'll go in with my influence and power and release him.
Sorry, it might be the hat. I didn't hear you say yes or no. If they bring him back dead, are they still getting paid?
He just wants information, doesn't he?
If that were the awful case, yes, of course.
All right. Yep, the hat was words.
Are you
But
going
I
to be a
do not
part of
believe
this job,
the augury
or are you
is...
doing your own thing? Meaning, if we get the 1,000, do you care if you get any of it?
He's hiring you. I have a task to keep an eye on you for whatever reason, but
Well, this is a genuine question because this is technically a new job and you're now with us. So if you want to be paid when we finish it, that you're going to be accompanying us with.
The augury has not indicated that anything has happened to him in this regard.
no, you can split the gold. Just feed me and try not to get me killed.
Sure.
Great
sure.
life.
You go.
And these mysterious thievings, you said. What's so
I know nothing about them.
What's
You'll need to talk
mysterious?
to me.
Yeah, all right.
All I know is that the augury has indicated there's something involved with my son and these
the town?
thievings
Old Town.
in Old Town.
They're on the.
It's the district in
Yeah,
the Dyvers.
on the west side. Yeah.
Sir,
Thank you.
can you guarantee that we won't be dealing with the crew that your son was running with previously?
The bangers? The bangers are no more, my friend. They're all been sent off disparate ways. I've made assurance of that. Our one has come back to me. He's no longer being difficult. He's accepted that what he was doing was misguided with this group and has come back to join me in growing our business together. But my other son, my oldest son, is the one that I need to find. The auguries assure me that he's alive and well, just not well, but just alive.
Do we have a time frame on this?
Yes, immediately, as soon as possible.
We do have this box.
I will keep the box here, safe for you, until you return. And then you will continue along to complete your job that I paid you for. Got you out of jail for.
Of course. No, I understand that. It's just...
So you need not worry about it here.
Do you have any renderings of what Zeb looks like?
I do. And he pulls from his desk a charcoal drawn picture of a young man in a cap, and he's got fine features, very similar to his dad, darker skin, long hair, eyebrows that are very sharp, different from his father's. His father's are more bushier, his are sharp, and he's slim. And he's in finery in the charcoal drawing of his portrait. You may have this. He hands it over.
She'll take it.
Jabal's a human.
Not that
Yes.
Thank you.
And the son is human as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice hat.
I just pull out.
What was he
big
wearing last
packet,
time you saw him?
I have not seen him in some time.
Just make a quick duplicate of the sketch.
No, he's giving it to you.
No,
but if you want,
I'm
you want to
making
make,
another. I'm
oh,
making
okay.
another copy.
Okay, roll sleight of hand. See how good it is.
Cool. I have cool sleight of hand. I like that. I literally have tools to do this too.
Good.
It's gonna look like this.
I do have a forgery kit.
She draws.
That's a shit roll, but that's still an 11.
So I mean, it's better than
So
average.
your stick has 5 fingers.
Basic sketch. It's not
Figaro
like,
really is a
losing game.
charlatan.
Name it.
Even a charlatan rogue.
I'm doing a good. It's good enough.
So do you agree? You agree to my terms?
Yeah. Fair enough.
We need to save the missing person. Do you have a place we could start that's more specific than Old Town?
The Hawk and Hound
The
Inn.
Hawk and Hound Inn
Yeah.
to me.
To me.
Just my one request on our side is just please don't open the box. It's just it's not worth the hassle. The being inside is just it's.
Look, I have no interest in opening this box. All right? It's going to sit in a cell 2 levels below here until you return, and then we'll bring it back up for you to take to Lord Henway.
May I insight, even though I'm assuming his
Yes,
missing
absolutely.
son is genuinely more important than opening some stupid box on his first part?
That should be good.
It's just 18.
18. He seems pretty sincere.
He's worried about his son, isn't he?
Yes.
That's got wisdom.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Dang.
Not everything needs to be good news.
She has no idea what you just said.
No,
I
that's,
like the way you think.
Was that
No.
an infernal? What did you just say?
no, that did sound like a curse. Now.
Do you accept this
Or is that last?
mission that I have given to you?
Fine.
Yes.
I'll say DC is fine.
Yes.
See to me as soon as possible. He'll know I sent you. You can stay there free of charge. All right. And then report back to me when you have information, definitive information. But do not hesitate to act if the time comes for you to do so. All right?
If we need to act, we end up in jail again. I'm assuming this time we'll have adequate representation.
Do not end up in jail again. It cost me so fucking much to get you out the first time.
Just ask.
Nope.
I prefer not to have to spend the gold again to get you out a second time.
We will practice heavy restraint.
All right, very well. Just
No melting people, got it.
No stabbing them with arrows.
That's fair.
Just be careful.
No kick.
I got maybe a little kick.
Oh, kick a few people.
All right, let's to the Hawk and Hound Inn.
Okay. So as you guys head out, everyone's like, see you next time. Taking care of that box for you.
Bye.
Don't worry.
Am I crazy or did he not feed us?
No, he said that there was food waiting and then there was nothing.
It was like a timeshare.
Yeah.
You get drinks.
That's not what was promised.
It was good alcohol.
I just can't tell if that's a Ravek forgetting what was said or if that was a...
Maybe you didn't stick around long enough. So you're gonna head right away over to the Hawk and Hound Inn.
Sure.
It's our new base.
All right. So
Good thing we packed up camp.
None of you beat that guy up in the cell.
I wanted to, but everyone told me not.
I mean, I roughed him up a little bit while we were
I was
fighting.
gonna say, you were in the cell.
I was sleeping.
The whole bar fight would not have happened if they did not
I
antagonize
made a
us
joke
first.
about killing him in the cell and everyone told me not to, so I said, okay, fair enough.
He's,
So as
Part
you-
of me wanted to go along with it, but
Yeah.
he's probably responsible for his brother's disappearance. He looked a little too happy.
Yeah, no,
Honestly,
I don't
Augury,
trust the sun still. Like,
And honestly, divination is notoriously unreliable anyway, so.
I know people can change, but
I don't know if that's true.
No, it is!
is that some incarnate map I see?
perhaps it might be.
Hell yeah, dog.
So as you enter the Hawk and Hound Inn, the trade district, you leave the trade district going into the old town. Again, very very busy, very much more crowded than the trade district that you just left. Finery has left this place. You're looking at the lower world of life here in Dyvers. But the Hawk and Hound Inn is actually not a bad place to stay, apparently. As you enter, you see it's quite busy, and there are numerous revelers. It's far more raucous than the Red Boar in the trade district from a few weeks ago. As there's laughter and there's talking, it's crowded bars, lots going on in here. You get the minstrels singing and trying to get their voices over the conversations and things that are happening here and there, and almost competing with it. As you walk in, you see several servers moving about. There are some places at the bar that are available, a couple. None of the tables have any openings, it's that busy. At least 50 patrons are inside. Whether they're local or from places far away, you don't know. But it looks like it's not, you guys are worldly enough to realize it's not a local tavern like the Red Boar Inn was. So, you're dealing with a very disparate group of folk, and it's not just humans. There are no elves that you see, but you see a couple of dwarves, you see some halflings, you see a couple of gnomes, and then the rest being the majority humans of different, from different places.
Humans and short folk.
As we were walking over, was there any, tagging graffiti or, defacing of the old wall or anything? I don't know if people...
You mean in terms of?
Around the old, a thieves, I have, thieves scan, I can recognize any symbols. I just wanted, as we were walking through town...
Yeah, roll perception.
Cool.
Roll perception with advantage.
Thank you. I'll take the advantage. I'll keep that other one. Perception? 19.
So you see symbols that you interpret as the Alliance. So, like Delta type symbols that, that mean something to you that wouldn't mean anything to anybody else. So Alliance.
I don't say anything, but yes.
Yep. Boy, that was a brain fart. Okay. Anyway, so yes, a bunch of orcs in here too.
Yeah, it's great. The orcs are gonna kill us.
So you enter the tavern. It's very, very busy. What are you gonna do?
Or sympathizers.
I'll walk up to the bar and ask for Toomey.
Okay, all right. So just a very frazzled gentleman sitting there, dealing with all the customers and so forth. Just go back, Turvy, it's hard to see you. And you see a gentleman that walks up. He looks tall, very wiry frame, very well dressed for this establishment, and seems to be walks up almost like nobly And as he walks from the back to the front, just gazing around down his nose, who's asking for me?
I am.
Oh,
Jabal sent this group to look for his son.
oh,
We're told to expect hospitality.
yes. Jabal sent you, yes? All of you. All right. Come back, please. Come back. And he gestures to a room in the back that's vacant and away from the crowd and the noise taking place in the tavern. And as he stands there opening the door, beckoning you through.
I let them all go first.
Okay.
Yep. You see inside it's just a simple table, a few chairs, not enough for all of you to sit, but he sits down heavily on one. Oh, finally. We've had such trouble here. All the inns in the old town, subject to a series of burglaries. I'm glad he sent you. I can't believe that he sent you. It's odd that he said he would send someone, but it's been weeks.
We were busy.
Well, I'm glad you're here if you're going to help. But look, it's just been, we've been, despite our normally effective, precautions from thievery and so forth, including the posting of guards in some cases, thieves have been striking within a couple of hours, either way at midnight, making off with small valuables and things that are easily concealed, leaving no apparent signs of forced entry of any kind. Consequently, we've gotten together with all the other innkeepers and asked for help. The folk here, the thieves guild, as you call them, they think they own this place. Won't do a damn thing. They may have something to do with it. As far as I know, I don't know. But Jabal, for some reason, came to us and suggested that he would help find out what's going on. So yeah, here we are.
And what do you do to find out? Any idea?
Well, I guess he sent you to find out. But he agreed to proffer this reward that is quite striking. 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold. And he points over, and you see this sign tacked to the scroll, just tacked on the wall, next to the bar, and it says clearly, 1,000 gold reward for finding the thieves who've been accosting good folk in Old Town.
Twig,
Yeah.
can you produce the charcoal drawing?
That's all well and good, but what does any of that have to do with this guy?
Oh, I recognize him. I think his name's Zeb.
Seen this fellow in here?
Oh yeah, he's been here quite often. I haven't seen him in a while though. It's been maybe a week or two. About a week. Yeah.
Would you say the frequency of the burglaries occurred increased or decreased since you've last seen them?
I think they've been the same. I mean, it hasn't been just us here. It's been the other innkeepers around. It's 4 or 5 of us here in the old town that seem to be targeted, and I don't know why. But yeah, it's just anyone has any visible means of affluence seems to be targeted right away. It's the strangest thing.
Have you been subject? Personally?
Personally, no, but folk that have stayed here have. Rooms above.
Like what kind of just taking small
Gems, coins, small pouches of wealth. Not like they're carrying around, chests of anything, but it's been a little bit that's added up to a lot. So I don't get
Always
it.
something that could be carried on somebody's person.
Oh, easily, yes.
Easily.
And always taken from one of the rooms, whether it's one of the rooms of mine or any of my other, friends that run inns in the old town. And he kind of indicates, just so you see the map, he indicates that B, the Daft Gnome Ale House, the Steel Tankard Tavern C, D, the Gluttonous Pig Waycross. These have all been inns, in taverns that have been subject to these burglaries. And it's always been somebody that's staying there that has some
Is it
bit of
specifically
wealth.
from the rooms? Nothing like behind the counters? No.
Always from the rooms. Always from the rooms.
Do you have a room that we can go inspect?
Well, sure I do.
And are there any taverns or inns that have not been targeted?
Well, I don't know about the ones outside of our district here,
Yeah.
but the ones here in Old Town, in this part of Old Town anyway, are the ones that seem to be primarily targeted. The 4 or 5 inns or so are the ones that have been increasingly under duress from these thieveries. We can't handle it anymore. We're having folk that won't stay here. You know, all happens to rabble. All my rooms are empty right now. I have 7 rooms.
Can you point us to one that one of the thieves, one of the burglaries occurred? Yeah.
Of course I can, as a matter of fact.
How many burglaries? One a night or several?
Well, speaking for myself, I would say once, 3 times a week, maybe 4 sometimes. And with all of us together, it's almost every night.
Typically occurring on similar nights when they.
Oh, in the night, within 2 hours of midnight, always.
Within 2 hours of.
It seems, yes.
But only one in every time.
No, actually, there's been some that have been burglarized in the same night, but at different times.
Gotcha.
Do all of the rooms that have been burgled have windows?
Well, all rooms have windows. I mean, they're not glass, of course, but we can't afford that. But they're all shuttered, so you can lock them if you choose. And that's a strange thing. The doors have been locked. Not one patron has said that they haven't secured their windows and doors at night.
Is this a 2-story or like all the rooms on one? The first.
2-story.
Oh, well,
Let me take you up to the rooms.
There's my theory on the 2-story thing.
While we walk, tell me more about this Zeb character.
Zeb is an interesting fellow. He comes in, used to come in quite often. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks or so, and he would deal with the folk around. He liked to gamble, and play cards and dice and such. Which is no problem. We don't have any issue with that whatsoever. Seemed. Easy enough fellow to get in. He was never violent, never caused trouble. I'd seen him with elements of those known in the Thieves Guild, and but I don't want to say too much about that because, it's probably dangerous to recognize someone from the Thieves Guild as being in the Thieves Guild. So anyway, I just strike that. Yeah, so he seemed to have associations, I'll just say. He takes you upstairs, and you see, and shows you, which I will show on the map in just a moment.
Ooh, mini
Yes, actual
mappy.
map. Which unfortunately we'll have to get into next time, but at least we can get a preview of this wonderful map that you can spinny around.
Names. Rapiers for breaking out.
That's sick.
And all of the exterior ones are the shuttered windows.
Yeah, so he brings you up the stairway here, and he explains that this is the bathroom, and they have a natural fountain here that pumps up water. There has water that comes up into a fountain area here for bathing, and then they have the 3 elaborate rooms, and he opens up each door so you can see inside, and then the 4 very simple rooms, and each one has a window, and you can see that all of them, all the windows can be locked from the inside via a bolt versus just being just clamped down. So this seems to have some relative security in the type of window latches and so forth, and the doors can be bolted from the inside as well. Not just, they don't have actual locks, but they're bolted, so they'd have to be forced to actually get into, as far as you can tell.
Which of these rooms have been burgled?
Well, the 3rd one on the right, the 2nd one on the right, and all 3 on the left.
So the final one, the fourth one on the right, has not been touched yet.
That's the only one. Oh, I have an idea.
I have an idea as well.
What if you pretended to be merchants, affluent merchants, those that had done well, and just kind of made it known. You buy drinks for the not everyone, but you go in and buy drinks.
Can you support us in that?
I can.
We can't afford to buy
Sizing him up and sizing up the members of the party. Are there anybody of similar build to this man?
To the innkeeper?
Yes.
How tall is he?
Height and
He's
fiery.
Am I of a similar height?
He's 6 feet. He's very, very slender.
Who's 6 feet and slender?
I'm 6
That's
feet.
Figaro.
That is literally me.
Okay, we got. I'm going to need your clothes.
Whoa.
I need your
We
boots.
need somebody to play the part. And you are dressed finer than anybody we've seen in this establishment.
But they'll know.
No, they'll know.
Something else from his closet.
I mean,
I'm sure that's not his only nice clothes, right?
No, I can provide you with clothes, but everyone knows me here.
Right, we'll get something else from your closet that they don't typically see you in. Some of your nicer robes. Maybe if you're going out to a party or something, and we dress up our dear friend Figaro like that.
Oh, and then we work for Figaro.
Exactly.
I see.
I'm okay with this.
what if can I sleep in that bed? And
So what do I do? What do I do?
We dress.
Give them clothes.
Give us some.
That's
nice
it. Just
clothes
give them clothes.
that you don't typically work in.
All right.
Something
All
nice.
right. All right.
Something
All
real
right.
nice.
Right.
When we will take Figaro offside,
Yeah.
get him dressed,
That fellow. Okay.
and when we come back, he will buy a round of drinks that you will provide to the. You can water down the ale if you.
He's going to use your clothes to pretend to be
Yes.
rich.
Yeah, so basically.
Oh, you just want my clothes?
Yes,
Yes.
can I borrow them?
Oh,
You were
yeah.
putting down what I thought you were picking up what I was
I
putting down.
thought you wanted to be me.
No.
Oh, I thought you wanted to assume my identity.
No.
How would that be? On my face.
Why would I ask for
I
clothes that you
don't
don't
know.
typically work in?
You want to be me? I don't know. It sounds weird. Thank
We
you.
need to. You are the finest dressed gentleman in this establishment.
I am. I'm the. Yes, I
And
am.
we want our ratty friend right here to look.
Oh,
This fine.
all right. So
You're wearing
fortunately,
unassuming clothes. You're a rogue.
fortunately for you, I have a change of clothes here.
everyone's being
You know,
really loud right
no trouble at all.
Yeah.
There's nobody up here.
We're giving away.
Looks around.
Yeah, let's maybe quiet down a little.
So no problem. I will do so. And where would you like to stay? What rooms would you like to stay
The
in?
one that has not yet been hit.
All of you in that one has one bed.
Well,
We put our friend Figaro
Oh,
in there.
this one.
And then we can occupy other rooms as necessary.
Got it. Got it. Yes. Brilliant plan. Brilliant.
Brilliant plan for a brilliant innkeeper.
If I
Yes.
Yeah.
may, if you're going to be rich, you may need a bodyguard to sleep in your room. Someone that doesn't actually sleep
yeah.
might serve
That's
that
why-
role.
Yeah.
That was phase 2 of the plan.
Yeah.
Let me get my clothes.
In that case, the rich man would not sleep in that
No.
room. He'd sleep in a big room.
Yeah, that's right. You sleep in a big room. That's right. You sleep in a big room.
I'm just worried he's going to steal your frog.
No, he won't. There's no way. He's,
Your frog can go in a pocket.
it's true. Well, yeah.
And he's
No,
pretty
well,
valuable to you.
Oh, Broggy's genuinely.
Just a frog, I mean.
Fucked up with how big he was when we started. Broggy is that big
Oh,
right now.
okay.
Ceiling,
Big pocket.
rafters,
Well, I got the-
plain ceiling. What is?
Yeah,
the-
pretty standard. I mean, it's not real high. So no, there's no rafters. It's all just kind of built over, and it looks like whatever. Not called rafters, but they're called
beams.
yeah, I guess beams that are built into the ceiling,
Trusses.
and so it's pretty flat.
But before we do that, I would like to inspect one of the rooms.
Okay.
Just to get like a look at the door. You said that it, like, with the way it's bolted, it would have to be forced open.
Yes, because there's no keys. We don't do keys. You just give you a number, go up there, and there's a room.
As someone who has broken into someone's house before, do I know if this has to be forced open?
Well, I mean,
Like, would there be a way to pick, like, to like hook under the side and like pull the door open?
maybe,
Okay.
maybe. If
I'm not saying that to him, but just
no, I get it. But yeah, I mean, just looking at it, roll a perception or roll investigation.
investigation.
Yeah.
No.
You're not sure. I mean, your background kind of tells you that there might be skilled, might be able to do so, but
But I personally have never actually done
right,
that.
exactly.
My wheel.
But you might be aware of some that it could be done.
Yeah.
Anything can be done.
Mage Hand could do that.
I know. And that's all the stuff he's been talking about is the weight of Mage Hand.
Maybe it's Twig who's been stealing from everybody. She can climb and then use peek in through the window and then go up the stairs.
These little cat poops on it.
Do you
This
have
is
to be able to
unfortunately
see that
Figaro
to do
inspiration.
the mage hand, or can you send the mage hand someplace you can't see?
Mage Hand does not require sight.
No. It just requires orders.
I think it's Twig.
I do, and I do
Maybe
like
I've been taking
a
too
check
much of the
inside.
calamanthus on the side.
Like, just to check inside the room just to see if there's
Strung
any
out,
like
just robbing rich people
like
in the
any
middle of the night.
holes that look like they're built, like small holes in the wall, or like any gap between window
Okay.
when it's.
So as you guys are doing this, you guys are starting to check out the rooms and all that. So I will go get a change of clothes, and you know, we're just starting to get ginned up here tonight. So perhaps, how soon would you like to start? This is exciting. We're gonna catch these.
Can I inside check this guy?
Yeah.
What am I looking?
D20.
Well, yeah, but 17.
Okay. He seems genuinely excited about this.
Yeah.
Like this is like.
Excited because he's getting them off his
The
trip.
detective just asked him, help us.
Yeah, he's like involved.
Yeah.
You know, and this is so exciting. Right.
Yeah, he's a Scooby-Doo guy.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
right.
checking. I'm just checking.
I'm gonna use my clothes to do it. I'm gonna go down and get the clothes, and you guys feel free. All the rooms are open. Go into any of them you like. Check them out. Decide where you want to stay, how you want to do this. It's your plan. I'm excited about this, and that's what we begin next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next week, Call of Cthulhu.
Oh my God. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Legends on Paper. Greyhawk Friday.
There.
Good night.
I got dibs on manservant.
Wow, it took a little while to get there. But this is gonna be fun.
Milestone.